Welcome to the BEASTwriter Family, where social media engagement is encouraged. I'm your host, Ryan Sakamoto, and today we're going to be talking and breaking down the Tennessee Titans and San Francisco 49ers Thursday night matchup. Thank you guys for tuning in. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, all that good stuff, whatever you guys celebrate. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. There's not too much to talk about in terms of, well, there's a lot to talk about, but in terms of like the Pro Bowl voting, I already went and put up some tweets. And if you guys haven't caught those tweets, I suggest you guys go ahead and do that. And then also voice your opinion. Like I thought, for instance, we're just going to let people hop on in. I literally thought that the San Francisco 49ers would have Fred Warner in there. I thought he would be voted in, and yet Bobby Wagner is voted in as a reserve. I thought that was totally Bush League. Like, how can you have Fred Warner not be in there? Like, I get it. Right, I get it that Fred Warner is not up to standards in terms of hold on, let me answer this real fast. Okay, so what I was saying, how can you not have Fred Warner in there but have Bobby Wagner in there? It makes no sense. Bobby Wagner is one of the worst curl hook defenders in the entire NFL, and yet you have him in there over a guy like Fred Warner, who may not be as consistent as he was last year, but he's still playing at a first-team All-Pro level in my grading system. And so, again, if you want to play a little bit of devil's advocate, and for all you Seattle Seahawks fans out there, the burden of proof falls on you, because I grade every single snap of Fred Warner, the best off-ball linebackers, Darius Leonard, who is the best off-ball linebacker. You have guys like Roquan Smith from Chicago Bears, who's been dealing with a hamstring injury himself, much like Fred Warner was. I tweeted that stuff out there. Devin White, of course, is out there. So when you look at the top 5 off-ball linebackers and you put them in perspective and grade every single snap of those players that I just mentioned, and then you have Bobby Wagner as a reserve in the Pro Bowl, but it just goes to show that the Pro Bowl voting is nothing but a box score reading contest. Who can come up with the box scores? Trayvon Diggs, top 5 in Pro Bowl voting? Get out of here. Dallas Cowboys fans, I know you guys love me for my Micah Parsons preseason defensive rookie of the year prediction with Micah Parsons. You guys know how I felt about Micah Parsons leading up to the draft. I said he was ranked number 4 on my big board. Turns out he's going to be going to his first Pro Bowl. He's one of 4 rookies being voted in, along with Jamar Chase, Kyle Pitts, Micah Parsons, and Rashawn Slater. But with that being said, you really look at it from the off-ball linebacker position and say, how can you not have Fred Warner in there? And that's not me being a homer take. By the way, this beanie, pretty dope, right? So I was going to my storage unit, not going off topic, but some of you are asking like, oh man, this is cool beanie. I'm looking at my DMs. This is a beanie from the 1980s. This is like from Joe Montana, Dwight Clark days. And I was going through my storage, and this was my favorite beanie. I couldn't find it. I was going through my storage unit and I popped this out. It's like, whoa, I'm going to wear this on my next live stream. It's dope, right? You cannot look how clean that is. Pretty dope. And look at the pom-pom on. I love the pom-poms. You guys know that. But look how it's two-toned. I mean, that's dope. Vintage. But here we are today. We're talking about the Thursday night football matchup, and we're talking about the Pro Bowl voting. Here's another thing that I want to point out. Warner Pereira, thank you so much. My man in the BWF says, let's go. We have Jimmy Reyes Jr. says, great job. Thank you so much. And Mahalo. Happy holidays to you. Matt Cook and Smoke Sports says, what's up, Beast? What's going on? Mahalo to you and your family. Talking about the Pro Bowl voting, it is a competition of who can read box scores. Everyone talks about Trayvon Diggs, and I'm not saying Trayvon Diggs is bad. He's definitely a really good ball hawk cornerback, okay? The thing that I have a problem when it comes to Trayvon Diggs' game and why he should not be voted as a top 5 Pro Bowl vote getter is because it comes down to interceptions. And interceptions is a big element in winning the turnover differential and outcome of games. I get it, but I have my own grading system. It will reflect that. How many times has Trayvon Diggs given up big plays after big plays, and yet the NFL announcers don't even mention it? They don't even mention it. Like, for example, I have grades. You guys want grades? Oh, you have grades? Yes, I have grades for those who don't know. Trayvon Diggs has given more yards than any of the top Pro Bowl vote getters in this entire secondary. Second of all, since we're on the secondary, this is called Truth Thursdays. All right, Truth Thursdays, I break down the secondary. Since we're talking about secondary, Trayvon Diggs, I'm a big Roll Tide Roll fan for all you guys don't know, but you guys will know my scouting analysis of him dating back to Alabama back in 2019 when I covered Alabama for a hot mic. You would know that Trayvon Diggs is nowhere near the level of play of Pat Surtain Jr. And when I say about Pat Surtain Jr., He got snubbed. Now that's comparing AFC to NFC. I get it, but take out. All right, you can take out Denzel Ward from the Cleveland Browns, insert Patrick Tan, because Patrick Tan Jr. is ranked number 3 in my BDF grading system of all boundary cornerbacks. Holla at your boy. All right. Furthermore, how can you leave out Justin Simmons? Let's stay on the Denver Broncos train. If you followed me on Twitter a month ago I said this. A month ago I said that, and I quote, the Patriots and the Denver Broncos have arguably the best secondary in the NFL. I said this 4 weeks ago, a month ago. What happened on ESPN.com? Matt Bowen's analysis just 2 days ago. He said and echoed that same analysis a month later. So check off the Beast receipt. It checks out. The Patriots and the Denver Broncos have the best secondary in the entire NFL. Holla at your boy. Cashing in on those receipts. JC Jackson, congratulations. You're going to be voted in as a first team All-Pro by me in the PDF grading system. But aside from that, how can you leave out Justin Simmons? Free safety, Justin Simmons. He's playing at an All-Pro level in my grading system. I don't know how you leave a guy out like that. Thank you so much, Tony Nagatani, my man. Hopefully you're doing well. And thank you so much. I appreciate the love. And mahalo to you and your family as well. I know you're going through some tough times over in Hawaii with the flash flood and all that stuff. My sister was talking about it. And it's serious stuff, man, what's going on in Hawaii. So hopefully you're up and running and back to normalcy. I know I gave you a call. What was it, last week? I think we were talking last week or a week and a half ago. I think it was last week. And yeah, I got to check up on you, my man. Hopefully you're doing well. Thank you so much. Matt Cook and Smoke Sports. I'm just going to get to your questions. If you guys are watching on Twitter, feel free to reach out to me through Twitter. I know a lot of you guys don't like to post it publicly. You guys have been sending me DMs privately. Go ahead and do so. I'll go ahead and keep those up, and I'll keep my social media outlets up so you guys can kind of engage with me, whether it be Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever the case may be. Matt Cook and Smoke Sports says Jimmy Ward was snubbed. Yes, Jimmy Ward was snubbed. I think Jimmy Ward is playing at a first-team All-Pro level in my grading system for the second consecutive year. He should be in line for a Pro Bowl berth. Why he's not? It's really concerning because, again, fan voting is all about who can read a box score, and that's what the Pro Bowl vote. And look, I was guilty of this too when I was in elementary school and middle school. But when you get to high school, when you get to college, you guys kind of have to like pick up on things and actually do the legwork and say, hey, look, like let's grade the film. Let's grade the snap of a player. And if you don't have time to do it, I get it, because everyone has 9 to 5s or busy with families and other things. That's why you guys have me. Trust me. You can never go wrong by trusting me. I'm joking. You can formulate your own analysis, but at least have the respect and decency to grade every single snap. If you don't, then you cannot just go off numbers off reading a box score. I keep on telling you guys, the box score readers are out there are really crazy. I think it's dumb. Another thing I think is dumb is those flip-flopper fakes, those triple Fs, as I like to say, right? They flip one way in real time, and then in hindsight, they flip it over, and they say, oh, yeah, well, he's such a great player. But nah, man, during the draft, he said he was going to be horrible. And then all of a sudden, or vice versa, oh, during the draft, he said he was going to be great, and then flip-flop it in hindsight. Oh, Micah Parsons. I didn't say that. Bro, check the receipts. I challenge everyone to go on Twitter. Whoever you follow, screenshot what they say in real time, cross-check it in hindsight. That's why I call it Beast Receipts, because I'm not afraid to put it out there. You guys know that. And we can go on from there. My man, Rick Reyes, thank you so much. My man, Rick Reyes, thank you so much for the super chat and super sticker. I appreciate it. And Merry Christmas to you and your family. For those who don't know, Rick Reyes right here. I'm just going to keep this on right now because Rick Reyes, you have been a loyal supporter here in the BWF since day one. And what I mean by that is before I kind of went into BEASTwriter Family movement, I started a website called NinerFans.com. And from that, you want to talk about Beast Receipts. I was crossing off these receipts, making predictions just like I am here on YouTube. And Rick Reyes, I remember I met him. I think we met through Facebook, and then we met up, I believe, because I was doing these giveaways. I think I met you at Valley Fair in front of the Hat Club, which was upstairs inside Valley Fair. And that was the first interaction I had with you. Then we went and went to the food court, got some food, and became really good friends. My man, Rick Reyes, who now lives, what do you live at? Modesto? Vallejo. Man, Rick Reyes, you've been nothing but I wouldn't be where I am without you. Let's just say that, because you've been a huge supporter, whether it be our 49ers fan clubs that we had when we had Chris Borland out. We had, who else do we have? We had Carlos Hyde out there. Facebook, Chris Borland, right? Just 2 weeks before he announced his retirement, we were sitting down with Chris Borland. I had him come out. Chris Borland's my boy. If you're watching, I hope you're doing well. Interesting how everything comes full circle when it comes to what happened with Chris Borland's situation. Obviously, Luke, your son, made a picture of Chris Borland and he loved it. And I have that. That's on my Facebook profile right now. Just go back in the memories and it showed up. So I don't know if you remember that. You probably do. But yeah, that was one hell of Chris Borland. What a great guy. Chris Borland, what a great guy. What a smart guy. And nothing but love for Chris Borland. Nothing but love for my man Rick Reyes here. Thank you so much. And again, people need to be more like Rick Reyes. Rick Reyes is so giving. He is so giving. This guy is so giving. He's always, and Rick will tell you this, everything comes full circle, right? When the Niners at Levi Stadium or Candlestick, I would always give tickets away. That's what we did here in the BWF. So I would pay for the tickets myself. They're my season tickets, and I would give tickets away. I've been doing this ever since I became NFL media member as a beat writer for the 49ers from 2013 to 2018, and started covering them in 2012. But been doing this since day one. It's been in my family since 1991. You can tell. And front row season tickets over at Candlesticks, lower box section 14, row A, seats 1 and 2. So yeah, now we're transitioning to Levi Stadium in section 134. Holla at your boy. So Rick Reyes, we have to get together soon. Either I can make a trip out to you, you can make a trip out to me. We can kind of meet in the middle, whatever the case may be. But thank you so much, Rick Reyes. You have been awesome. It'd be cool to have Rick Reyes on the live stream, because at the end of the day, I think people would love to hear what you have to say, because you've been with me since, or one of my loyal followers and now dear good friends. Also supported Bay Area Rooted, my clothing line, since, gosh, you're probably, yeah, it's been since 2012. So 2012, what, 9 years now? Going on a decade in 2022. So really miss you, man. We gotta link up soon. Obviously, a lot has changed in the last decade, but yeah, I wouldn't be here without you. So thank you so much, Rick Reyes. And yeah, for those who don't know, or who want to know how to support me, a lot of you guys have been sending me DMs. Hey, how can I donate to you? And because people either don't have Twitter or they don't have YouTube or vice versa. Well, it's really easy. Or I shouldn't say easy, because it's still kind of hard, because even I didn't know how to do this, and I still kind of don't know how to do it. Anyways, apparently on YouTube, if you're on YouTube, there is a super chat and super sticker. You can go ahead and send me a super chat or super sticker. There's a money icon on your iPhone, your Android, your tablet, laptop, desktop, whatever version you're on right now, and you'll see the live chat in the lower right-hand corner. Right-hand corner? Or in the right-hand column of the screen, there'll be a money icon. If you guys want to send me a super chat or super sticker, please feel free to do so. All proceeds get donated back to you guys. What I mean by that is, obviously, I run Family Friday giveaways. You guys know how this works. If you guys don't know how this works, I run giveaways. That's just what I like to do, because, again, I wouldn't be in the position I am without you guys here supporting me. So why would I not support you back and give back? That would be kind of selfish of me, and be dumb of me not to give back to you guys. It's dumb. So that's what I always been this way. Nothing has changed. We've been running, well, what was it? Spot Sakamoto contest, hashtag Spot Sakamoto contest. You go on Twitter, just hashtag Spot Sakamoto. You can see what I'm talking about, dating back to when I became a beat writer at the 49ers. So if you guys want to, go ahead and send me a super chat, super sticker. If not, no worries. Do me a favor and send me a thumbs up, because that's free. As you're watching this live stream, it's free to give me a thumbs up. Like, that doesn't cost a thing, Love don't cost a thing. Either there's a thumbs up, a like on a video. So if you guys can do that, it helped me out a lot. Help out YouTube, who reached out to me and said, hey, Ryan, hey, Beast, how can we make your YouTube experience better? I talked to them. They got back to me, and so thumbs up. They said, yeah, thumbs up. Obviously, money helps, but the super chat, super stickers help. Also, channel memberships. They said, you maybe should start channel memberships. I'm like, I could do that. I might do that. I'm not sure about that. There's so many other things that we can do. But anyways, right now I'm just doing this for because I like doing it. So give it a thumbs up, and it would really help out a lot. And because I love all you guys, and again, it's going back into, we're going to do, I don't know what we're going to do for giveaways. We have our BEASTwriter Family t-shirts. Obviously, you guys seen those running around. We sold out now 2 times already. Now we have to place another order. And thank you, sir, everyone that was supporting in the BWF. You see that barbell logo and the football logo kind of intertwined. Football and fitness is what we do here in the BWF. If you guys don't know and new to following me, if you guys are watching right now with your family and friends over Christmas parties, Hanukkah, whatever the case may be, yes, I compete. Those what those medals are in the background. No, I bought them on Amazon. They're fake. No, they're real. You can look it up. NPC. This was from Gov Cup in Sacramento. A few of them were for San Jose Championships. I think I got Governor. Yeah, those ones were Governor's Cup. What else did I win? 5 first place trophies. That's all I remember. This is so long ago because after COVID, I haven't competed yet. Now I'm back on that grind. Daniel Jr. Middleton says, oh, thank you so much for the super chat and super sticker. I appreciate it, Daniel. Daniel's also been one of my loyal supporters since day one here in the BWF. Daniel, thank you so much. And mahalo for the love and support. We got What's Up G on Twitch. Oh yeah, I'm also on Twitch right now, for those who don't know. So I try to do it all. I try to do YouTube, Instagram, cover my bases, right? YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, what else? Discord, your cord, my cord. I don't know. I'm on everything. I try to be on every social media platform because if you don't, you're going to die. If you don't adapt, you die. And one thing's hot today, it could be not hot tomorrow, and then something else comes up. All right. So we can kind of see where this is going with social media here, especially here living in Silicon Valley. It's really tough to keep up with everything, especially at my age. And I don't look old, but I'm old. I am very old. But people are probably wondering, how old are you, bro? I'm old. Guess how old I am. That should be the name of the game. Guess Beast's age. But some of you guys already know because you're on here. You've known me for years. But What's Up G says, which team defensive line will dominate the opposing offensive line? Wow. I'm going to say the 49ers defensive line will dominate the Titans offensive line. I will say, thank you for your question on Twitch. So What's Up G says, which team's defensive line will dominate the opposing offensive line? I'm going to say it's going to be the 49ers defensive line will dominate the Titans offensive line. Now, I'll say that for a number of different reasons. I grade every single snap of the Tennessee Titans as I do the San Francisco 49ers. I know I'm rambling. We have a lot to talk about 2 minutes before the game. Jeffrey Simmons should have been a Pro Bowl vote, should have been ahead of freaking at least Chris Jones because Chris Jones wasn't even playing a lot. Didn't he have a wrist injury, if I'm not mistaken, that he missed 2 games from? And he kind of is a one-trick pony. He's a good interior defensive lineman, even though they kicked him out outside of defensive end, switched him up, kicked him inside because they thought him and Jerron Reed would be doing wonders, which allowed them to kick outside, and he wasn't doing so hot, so they had to move him back inside. And then they got traded for Melvin Ingram from the Pittsburgh Steelers, number 24. Remember that? Inconsistent. You have to be consistent in the NFL, and that's what Jeffrey Simmons brings. Jeffrey Simmons, again, was a riser in my BWF grading system last year. I said he's top 5 IDL. Watch. How is he not in the Pro Bowl voting? And that affects his contract because there's incentives. If you make a Pro Bowl, you get more bread. Unfortunately, he didn't get a Pro Bowl vote. He might get a first team all pro vote by me for the PFWA if it continues playing at a very, very high level, along with Jonathan Allen, who another riser in my BWF grading system, graded at 5.5 out of 10, now has come in at a 6.7. Had a really bad game last week in his run fit integrity. He had 5 missed run fit integrities. I'm doing this off the top of my head, but he did. And his scaling kind of fell off there. He was at a 7.3, now backed off to 6.7, which is 0.5 differential. But with that being said, hey, holla at your boy, Jonathan Allen, Roll Tide Roll, doing really well this year, along with DeForest Buckner, along with Aaron Donald, and my man, Cam Hayward. Thank you so much, Cam Hayward, for watching from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Always retweets and likes my stuff. So, Tommy Huxley says, Triple F. Yes, Triple F, flip-flop or fakes. I hate that. I hate when people flip their analysis, man. Like, it's really annoying to me. But getting back to the 49ers defensive line, and I'm not going to flip-flop or fake this because it's live, and you guys can call me out on it, which you won't because I'll call myself out on that. I don't care. Can't get it all right. But when you lose Roger Saffold and when you lose Taylor Lewan, that's your starting left side of your offensive line, and they're out. And then you flip that around and say, okay, well, Nick Bosa is going to eat because Nick Bosa playing at a Pro Bowl level. Which, by the way, you want to check off another beast receipt. You remember when I said, when people say, oh, we should trade Deshaun Watson for Nick Bosa, blah, 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 Deebo Samuel too, just package them. And I say, nope, don't do it. Don't do it. Because Nick Bosa is going to play out a Defensive Player of the Year candidate this year in 2021. And people are like, oh, no, he's always in there. And here we are today. Where are all those people? They're nowhere to be seen. Because every time I come back to that receipt, I say, keep the receipts. Hey, if I'm wrong, I'll call myself out. If you're wrong, you're going to be called out on it because you call yourself, basically because everything's on social media. And I go back to it, I retweet it, and those people are like, oh man, then they unfollow me because it's like, well, you're the one calling me out, not the other way around. I'm just saying, hey, this is my thoughts. I don't know. I think it's funny how people have that, contradict themselves in a lot of ways, how they say something, ways. I'm getting excited here. Flip-flopper fakes are ridiculous. I mean, they say, again, screenshot everything they say on Twitter and then cross-check their analysis in real time. That's all I got to say. Do that, and then more times than not, you're going to find out who you want to follow, because I can't force you guys to follow me. I can't force you guys to follow other people or other people that I would recommend. But what I can say is I would choose to follow those who get it right in real time and then cross-check that in hindsight rather than people who just spill bullshit and get it wrong just to spill bullshit. And then cross-check and be like, oh yeah, I knew he was good. I knew Michael Parsons was good. Come on, let's keep it 100. All right, Daniel Jr. Middleton says, good evening, Beast. 49ers time. It is 49ers time. It is Generation Retro says, what's good, fam? Go Niners. We have a lot of people in here. My man Tommy Huxley says they all jinxed us. Everyone picked the Niners on cornerbacks. I didn't jinx anyone. I said for the last 2 years, they better did something. And what I said they should have kept Ahkello Witherspoon, who's having one hell of a season with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Holla at your boy. Again, Beast receipt. I said James Pierre. By the way, a lot of people on PFF that followed me don't follow me anymore because of my BDF grading system. And I'll say this because I called him out on it. I said, how can you rank James Pierre ahead of Pat Surtain Jr. when I think James Pierre has been the worst cornerback or defensive back for that matter on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and yet Pat Surtain's playing at a really all-pro level, first-team all-pro level, and you have James Pierre ranked higher than Patrick. How does that work? And then the following week, oh, no surprise, James Pierre gets benched. In comes Ahkello Witherspoon. In comes Trey Norwood. In comes Arthur Mallette. And we're off and running number 35. Holla at your boy. I don't know. That's why I have my own grading system. It's not to say I'm better than PFF, because obviously PFF is the standard and everyone compares to them. I get it. But I don't care, because when I saw Tyrann Mathieu being graded in week 14 as one of the worst safeties in the NFL, and then 3 weeks later was a first team all-pro, interesting. Anyways, we're gonna get down to it. This is the game. We're gonna break it down right here. I'm gonna break it down. I'm on YouTube TV, so there's a little lag here. But before I get the ball first, look for Zach Cunningham. He was recently released by the Houston Texans. They got to find that inside linebacker. I think that's good because David Long is out. For those who don't know, nice pressure there. And okay, yeah. So that was a nice tackle by Zach Cunningham. Holla at your boy. But here we have what I'm seeing is the Tennessee Titans. They're just keeping everything in front. All right. Don't get beat deep. Don't give anything cheap. All right. Don't get beat deep. Don't give anything cheap. That's what you're seeing right here from the Tennessee Titans right now. They have Kevin Byard, who's again playing at a Pro Bowl level. In my grading system, he was voted into the Pro Bowl. They have obviously Bud Dupree from the Pittsburgh Steelers, not playing at an all-pro level that he did last year because he doesn't have TJ Watt manning the other side, but here he is. And now we have a first down by Deebo Samuel doing Deebo Samuel things. No surprise here. All right, so here we go. It's 1st and 10. San Francisco 49ers have the ball. They're driving. They're doing a lot of, well, I would think they would go no huddle, especially against this defensive line of the Tennessee Titans, but they're not. Jeffrey Simmons, again, playing at a first-team all-pro level in my grading system. Actually, no, I should take that back. Not first-team all-pro level, second-team all-pro level, but he's playing at a very high level. He is right there, number 98. He's lined up on the right side as we speak, and you just see him kind of just push the pocket there, and see, you really can't get anything going on that left side with Jeffrey Simmons kind of taking up and eating up double teams. That just frees up Zach Cunningham, and even though David Long's out, you still have Bud Dupree setting the hard edge outside. So a lot of good things. Obviously, Harold Landry's playing well. As far as the San Francisco 49ers, what I want to see from the San Francisco 49ers on this drive is I want to see them to kind of enforce their will down in the trenches. And I know they can pass the ball, but you really win this game by just winning time of possession and running it. Not like Kyle Juszczyk here in the power I formation. They just go outside zone run, and this is really easy for them. Right? The 49ers are going to win this game. All right? 49ers are going to win this game. It's not even a question of, to me, I think they're just the overall better team. And again, games are won down in the trenches. If you don't have Roger Saffold in there, you're starting left guard. You don't have Taylor Lewan, you're starting blindside left tackle, and you think you expect to win without Derrick Henry, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're playing dumb. And Julio Jones has been banged up. A.J. Brown has been banged up. You don't have Jonnu Smith, your tight end, who's off to New England. Come on. And that's just talking about the offense side of the football. All right, so here we go. Jimmy Garoppolo throws it. See, this is what I like about the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan. What he's doing is he's getting Jimmy Garoppolo acclimated to the cover shells that the Titans are throwing at him, not doing anything out of his comfort zone. You see tight end George Kittle just run a simple out route right here, 78-yard out route, and against a safety, Kevin Byard, that's a mismatch every single time because, again, Jimmy Garoppolo is throwing it to where only the receiver can get it. And what I mean by that is he's throwing outside to the boundary, and when Kevin Byard kind of climbs up and makes a play, he really can't make a play on the ball other than just make a tackle. They're really selling out on the run, and they're just opening up that play action pass. That was a nice play. Nice play call by Kyle Shanahan. You're running play action now because you're opening up the running game, and you're flushing those second level backers inside. So now they're selling out on the run, and that leaves Brandon Ayuk going and running a shallow. Whoa, that wasn't a shallow drag. That was behind the line of scrimmage across the formation. You see a lot of offensive coordinators use that to kind of moving or shifting the defensive line and the defensive front seven, I should say, from right to left or left to right, depending on play side formation of where the ball is based on the hash marks. All right, here we go. This looks like a cover four shell, so 3 underneath defenders. Let's see if they roll that way. They have 2 deep high safeties. It's a run up the middle, so they were playing with a light box there because you had 2 deep high safeties there. Again, you're playing numbers on numbers game. What that means is there's only 7 people in the box, so it's a lighter box, and you can run the ball there, and that's exactly what the 49ers did with Jeff Wilson. 2nd and 7, 11 minutes left in the first quarter. You see Rashaan Evans. Man, the Tennessee Titans have hands on the hips. That usually is an indication that they're tired. I would run straight at them on 2nd and 7 because they're tired. They're gassed. The defensive front seven is gassed. The Niners have had the ball for almost 5 minutes now, and they're really driving the ball downfield. The middle's open the field. There you go. There's 1-9. There's Deebo Samuel. Oh, it's a fumble, and wow, they say he was down. You know what? He was down by contact. I'm being biased, but he was down by contact. His right knee is down. He's down. Deebo Samuel's down. All right. Let's get to some of your questions here. If you guys have questions, let me know. JP says, how is Chandler Jones getting a Pro Bowl nod? Hey, my man JP Edward de Dios had a great, he's a Cardinals fan. It's like, how did Chandler Jones, you know why? Because he had 5 sacks in one game, and then he was a non-factor through weeks 6 through 12. He was a non-factor for the next 6 weeks, and then all of a sudden, the last couple weeks, he kind of came on. So a box score reader will look at that and be like, "Oh well, based on the Arizona Cardinals record, Chandler Jones must be playing consistently well." No, not so much. And here we go. Jeff Wilson just scores a touchdown as we speak. All right, so again, no surprise here that the 49ers are driving down the field, and they just ran. If you look at it, you got to wrap up. You know what I'm saying? You got to stack and shed and wrap up. You can't expect to tackle Jeff Wilson by not wrapping up. And again, when you get that tight in the goal line, you have to wrap up. You can't just throw your head or throw your shoulder at the legs of the ball carrier. Just not going to work down inside the red zone or down inside the 5, I should say, because even though you might hit him, he may just fall forward based on his forward momentum over the goal line or the plane. Yeah, I don't know how Chandler Jones got a freaking Pro Bowl nod. Again, hey, don't be a box score reader. Jan Paul Edward DiDio says, Nick is so much better than Joey, plus Nick is charismatic so he can elevate his teammates. Nick is really better. I wouldn't say he's far better than Joey Bosa, but I will say this: he is better. He is better. But one thing that I will say that Nick Bosa has cleaned up a little bit better this year is his run fit integrity. That's one thing that with the Bosas I have a problem with, is their run fit integrity, because they sell out so much on the pass rush that they give up a lot in run support. Now, Nick Bosa has done a very good job at cleaning that up this year. Hats off to Nick Bosa. Joey Bosa, same guy, but still playing at a Pro Bowl level because, man, he's one of the best pass rushers in the entire NFL. There's not too many that are better than Joey Bosa or Nick Bosa. All right. Jean-Paul Edward Didio says he is focused on sacks because he wants that payday. He's one of the reasons our run defense sucks. Here we go. See what I just said. What's the deal with missing tackles all around the NFL? Missing tackles all around the NFL comes down to fundamentals, comes down to taking proper angles. I would say it's as much on the coaching staff as it is the player. Again, when you come into the NFL, a lot of these coaches expect you to understand fundamentals, how to tackle, how to wrap up, how to squeeze through the thighs, right? How to drive for 5, meaning once you hit him on initial contact, can you drive him backwards, right? Do you hit him high? Do you hit him low? How do you hit them? Do you attack the near hip, right, of the ball carrier? These are things that are considered fundamentals. These are things that I know. These are things that everybody should know. Now, I'm not saying I can do it at that level because I can't. Otherwise, I'd be in the NFL. But I'm saying these are things that are being coached up, right? Because I've been a beat writer. Obviously, I've been at practice, and obviously not just the 49ers, but been around other practice facilities and talking to players and seeing how they practice. Obviously, been there, done that. So one thing that is missing is the art of fundamentals when it comes to tackling, right? Taking proper angles is a big one, because if you take a bad angle and you're single high safety and you're the last line of defense and you're supposed to use the sideline as an extra defender by squeezing that ball carrier to the boundary, so now you're playing half of the field, but yet you're playing straight on. You're not giving them half man. And then the guy gets beat. He gets like, pick your poison. I can go left or I can go right. I don't want to give that ball carrier the benefit of the doubt of giving him leverage. I want to win that leverage game myself. I'm going to dictate the leverage of where you're going to go. And if I get beat there, I get beat there to the spot. All right, so here's a return by Tennessee Titans. And lo and behold, special teams. Here we go. Special teams has always been a problem with the San Francisco 49ers this year, and we're seeing it here. We all remember what happened to the Seattle Seahawks, and Travis Homer had that home run ball on that punt, fake punt, drive left to the house. And Brandon Ayuk was the last line of defense. Talk about being the last line of defense. It's not his fault because, hey, he did everything he could. There was just like 3-4 blockers in front of him. What is he supposed to do? Can't be at 4 places at once. All right, here we go. We have Julio Jones, A.J. Brown back in the lineup, but you don't have a good tight end. That's why they go 3 wide receiver sets more times than not, or 11 personnel. All right. 1st and 10, they do play action. And again, this is Nick Bosa just swallows the ball carrier coming out of the flat. Again, this is what you see from Nick Bosa. Not only does he penetrate the backfield, but he's mindful of knowing and understanding scheme. And he sniffs out the screen, beats the left tackle who is in place of Taylor Lewan, and makes a play behind the line of scrimmage for a TFL. Again, these are things that you look for when I grade every single snap. Here we go right here. I can show you the coverage right now. It looks like it's a cover 4. It's a cover 4, 2 deep safeties, 3 underneath defenders. You have K'Wan Williams playing help, and he's just going to come up there, miss a tackle there. But it's okay. They didn't get much. It's 3rd down. 3rd down with 9 minutes left in the first quarter. And again, if you have any questions on, there are questions on here, let me know. Let me know. I'm more than happy to answer these questions for you. And again, I'm doing this because I love doing this. Bruce Ellsworth sent me a tweet. Bruce Ellsworth, you are awesome, bro. DM, I should say. It's not even a tweet. It's a DM. Reading that tweet. Or that DM. All right, anyways. All right, 3rd and 11. Oh, Fred Warner just gave his D. Oh, my gosh. You know how I knew it was going to go down the seams? And I mentioned Fred Warner before the ball snapped because I talked about this on the live stream, and I thought the Niners would switch up their play calls. Fred Warner gives a signal with his right arm. You'll notice pre-snap, if you watch the coach's film or if you watch the broadcast, he gave a pre-snap recognition read, and that told me that they were playing four underneath defenders there. And my line of thinking is they were going to switch that up. They haven't. So now that I pointed it out last week, now I'm pointing it out this week, they haven't switched up their signals. If I'm freaking Ryan Tannehill, I'm going to be like, oh man, now we got them, at least with their signals. He does it again. Here's Fred Warner doing it again. Now it's again, here we go. He does this. He does this. Wow, interesting. Interesting that they didn't switch up the hand signals. If I'm a team that's going to play like the Rams, that's going to play the Niners in a meaningful game, I'm going to look at that. You have to change it up. Just like when cornerbacks go like this, a lot of the cornerbacks in the NFL do this, especially if it's cover one, because what happens is there's a lot of rub routes being ran. And if the inside receiver goes outside, that's going to be the outside cornerback's responsibility from the inside to the outside. And now you're playing outside in, not inside out. All right, here we go. K-Wall Mullins came up with a nice tackle. And the Tennessee Titans are playing scared. The Tennessee Titans are playing extremely scared here, guys. And well, you don't have anything going for you. You have Eric Armstead, DJ Jones, Nick Bosa. When is Eric Armstead going to get going? I mean, this is year 7, and he's getting paid $85 million. At some point, well, I called it. I said once he get a contract year, he's gonna revert back to his old self, which is an average football player at best. They're so scared. What I tell you, the Tennessee Titans are so scared. 3rd and 15, they run the ball to kind of win time, to kind of get field position and win the field position game. But at the end of the day, I mean, what do you got going for you? You're going to do that? You're basically conceding the drive on 3rd and 15 because you don't have Taylor Lewan there. You don't have Roger Saffold there. So your pass protection on the blind side is horrible. So obviously, if you're offensive coordinator, it'll be like, Ryan Tannehill will be running for his life anyways, so we might as well just concede the down because we don't have anything to open up the playbook because obviously we don't have a strong offensive line because they're all banged up. And that's what they did there. This is really, really, what am I doing here? Interesting. All right, so if you guys have any questions, go ahead and shoot them my way. There is some comments on YouTube from my last live stream. I'm going to answer them here. All right. There was a question on my last live, or I guess this guy Mike Miller. Not like I don't know him. You guys know Michael Miller. He's on the Facebook group and owns a Facebook group and runs a Facebook group. It's a pretty damn good Facebook group, big Facebook group. And he was trying to call me out on my last live stream, and I'm going to answer his questions because at the end of the day, hey, if you challenge my credibility, I'm going to fire back. So let me just go back to let me see what he said. So he said, and I quote, Fred Warner should be traded, and Ryan, as in me, you are clueless to know this. I'm clueless, but yeah, he's hopping on my live stream or on my channel, not the other way around. Let's not get it twisted. Anyways, that's argument number 1. If I was clueless, then why are you on my live stream? Wouldn't I be on your live stream? Whatever. Cornerback, he says, is a bigger need than an average linebacker. This is Michael Miller here on YouTube. Cornerback is a bigger need than an average linebacker. You will learn one day, as if he's teaching me a lesson. I will learn one day. But yeah, what are my credentials, right? Like, if you want to, whatever, right? Like, who am I? Like, who are you, Beast? Like, who are you? Like, who are you, BEASTwriter Ryan Sakamoto? Who are you? Like, but I'm going to learn one day. Literally his words. You will learn one day, as if he's teaching me a lesson. Like, what am I? What are we, 5? Am I going to the principal's office? Like, for real, I'm going to put this out. You know what? Because things like this kind of like just annoy me. And I will be the bigger person, but I'm going to fire back in a professional manner, as I always do. All right. So this is to Michael Miller responding to your comments. You know, because you said I need to learn one day, right? I need to learn one day. I swear this is what he said. Like, you will learn one day. That's what he said to me. You will learn one day. I have watched this game 3 times longer than you have been born. Okay. So what is that supposed to mean? Just because you watch football doesn't mean you can grade football. And just because you're older than me, by default, doesn't make you better than me. Just vice versa. If you're younger than me, doesn't necessarily mean I'm better than you because you're younger than... An 8-year-old can be better than me, just like a 75-year-old can be better than you, or a 5-year-old can be better than you. Ridiculously, really messed up comment here. He said, Fred Warner should be traded, and Ryan, you are clueless to know this. Cornerback is a bigger need than an average linebacker. You will learn one day. I have watched this game 3 times longer than you have been born. Michael Miller. Cheers, Michael Miller. No, he didn't say cheers. But this is what I'm going to say about that. Michael Miller, if you're watching, which you probably are, and I say you can come back on this live stream anyways. I'm gonna mention this, and I talked to my family and friends about this. Should I start a segment called Feed the Beast? Because you're just feeding into the Beast analytics right now, the BWF grading system. I'm gonna spit facts. All right, here we go. Off the top of my head, I was gonna wait until Michael Miller can come on if he wanted to come on. I'm not sure if he wants to, but you feel free to come on. The link's up there. You can go on my live stream any day, and we can debate right now. Here I will say this. All right. Yes, you need a shutdown cornerback, but not at the expense of your heart and soul of your defense in Fred Warner. I have Fred Warner's back. His dad is a big supporter here in the BWF, and yes, I may be biased a little bit, but the truth of the matter is this. Without Fred Warner, who's going to make those calls on defense? He is the heart and soul of the defense. He is a first-team all-pro level linebacker in my BWF grading system, and I will call it how I see it because I run and grade every single snap. To say that I don't know what I'm talking about, let's take it a step further, peeling back layers of the onion to get to the core, as I always like to say in the BWF. You say, furthermore, your second comment, let me pull it up here. No team can win without a top cornerback on it. New England has won more than any, and why? Think about that. So he's teaching me another lesson, or trying to teach me another lesson. Let me repeat that. No team can win without a top cornerback on it. New England has won more than any, and why? Think about that. Well, it comes down to 2 things I can think off the top of my head. It's called Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. Have you seen Man in the Arena on ESPN? Do yourself some justice and go watch that. It's really, really good. Because it talks about the dynamics of the personnel. It talks about not having a true shutdown cornerback on the New England Patriots for a lot of those Super Bowls, right? So for you to come out and say this, and here Kyle Juszczyk just goes on a big run, Kyle Juszczyk juice, but there's a flag on the play. It's going to be pushed back. I think it's going to be on probably Travis Benjamin, probably for a legal blindside block. I didn't see the play, but usually that's what it's called. Here, I don't know. Anyways, for you to say that you need a shutdown cornerback and New England has won more than any because of a shutdown cornerback when you're dismissing the fact that they had Tom Brady and Bill Belichick over the course of the past 2 decades, come on. And it's not, it's a face mask. Yes. But yeah, it just makes no sense because again, if you go around the NFL, yes, 1994, they had Deion Sanders. But again, to get to the Super Bowl and to win a Super Bowl, just look at what the Pittsburgh Steelers were working with. Did they have a real true shutdown cornerback when they won their Super Bowls? Under the Tomlin era, they had Ike Charlton, but the Raging Cajun, but did they have a true shutdown cornerback, or was it a really good scheme? Was it a really good defensive front 7? I think that's what you need to look at. And for you to say that they need to trade for Fred Warner, I think that's the wrong line of thinking. If you think that Fred Warner is not as valuable as a true shutdown cornerback, you're doing yourself a disservice because of the fact like everything starts up front. Games are won down in the trenches. It doesn't matter if you have a true shutdown corner or not, because if you did, odds are that wide receiver is going to get open. The true shutdown cornerback cannot mirror a receiver for 5-7 seconds if there's no generated pass rush and the pass rush can't get home, which is why Nick Bosa to me is extremely important. I don't know. I think if you look at the Super Bowls, if you want to educate me, I'm gonna not educate you back because everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But I will say this: as George Kittle is about to just run down the seams and score a touchdown, yes, he's on my fantasy team. I'm in the playoffs. Yes, come on, George Kittle. But to say that Fred Warner is tradable, I think that's fool's gold. If you want to talk about, no pun intended, it's fool's gold to think that Fred Warner is not a valuable asset to your team. He's the heart and soul of that team. He's also a heart and soul of that locker room. And so that's why I say if you're going to come at me and attack me and teach me a lesson, which is fine, you can try to teach me a lesson, but don't be surprised if you get schooled and you're the one sitting in that chair, because at the end of the day, it's almost like this. Like, look, We can have our differences, but at least be respectful, right? At least be respectful about it. And if you look at the Super Bowl winning teams, the one thing that they had was a strong defensive front seven. They had a very strong defensive front seven. Even if you look at the Legion of Boom, they had a strong defensive front seven because they all played well as a unit. They had Bobby Wagner. They had Malcolm Smith. Remember him? They had KJ Wright. They had a lot of these pieces up front, like not Carlos Dunlap anymore, but Chris Clemens, right? They picked up guys from the Detroit Lions. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. I believe it was 2014 that they picked up a guy from the Detroit Lions. But they had players, right? I'm thinking Ziggy Ansah, but that's not him. Ziggy Ansah was not that guy. He never made it to the Super Bowl. But they had guys, right? They had guys over the course of the years, and that's why I think I would disagree. I think you need a strong defensive front seven more than a strong heart and soul of the defense and a middle linebacker than you do a shutdown cornerback. Because it doesn't matter. You can have Deion Sanders play for the San Francisco 49ers, but if you don't have a strong defensive front seven, Deion Sanders can only cover so much ground, right? What is he just going to go back and forth? Nah, man. Eventually that wide receiver is going to get open, and eventually that quarterback's going to go through his progressions. So that's why I say, Michael Miller, I don't know what to say. I respect it, but I disagree with it. I respect it, but disagree with it. We can all have an opinion, just be respectful. But you're teaching me a lesson because, you don't know. I've been here longer than you. It's like, okay, dude, tell me. Whatever. Bang Bang Niner Gang says pick. What the? Yeah. Well, it's okay, guys, because the Niners are going to win. In fact, I would put money on it that Niners are going to win. I'm not scared. That's why I'm not. Niners are going to make the playoffs, bro. Like, I ain't scared. I didn't tweet this out, 3 weeks ago? I said there's going to be 3 NFC West teams making the playoffs. I said, don't be surprised that the Cardinals don't win the NFC West. I said this 3 weeks ago before their decline. And they had, a 3-game lead on the St. Louis Rams, the LA Rams and all the other teams. And people were trolling, like, what do you know? You don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, okay, well, that's my opinion. I don't know to tell you. You can disagree. We'll come back to it on the BEASTwriter receipts and the Beast receipts, and we'll see who's right and wrong. And again, if I'm wrong, I will call myself out. But it's rare, but it happens. Yeah, I'm not perfect, but who is? No one's perfect. And that's here we are today. Micah Parsons looking really strong for me right now. I went to Vegas, placed that bet, defensive rookie of the year. Let the odds forever be in your favor, or whatever was that the motto or the slogan is with the Hunger Games. Anyways, we have a lot of, thank you so much everyone for the super chat and super stickers. I really appreciate it. Tony Nagatani, thank you so much. I appreciate the love and support, my man. Tony Nagatani had a great question. He wanted to know, if I was to build an NFL team, how would I do it? If I was to build an NFL team on defense, how would I do it? And I said, you know what? It really depends on, first, your player personnel. Here we are with the Tennessee Titans. It's 1st and 10. And Ryan Tannehill, this looks, they bring the tight end in motion here. Again, I'm on YouTube live stream, so I'm about 30 seconds off. But it looks like it's going to be a run. It is. And again, they're selling out on the run with Marcel Harris, and they're playing with the stacked box. They're daring the Tennessee Titans to beat them deep. If I'm Ryan Tannehill, I'm just going to say, you know what? We don't even stand a chance. But let's run some play action passes. Let's throw it deep against Ambry Thomas, Deal Lenore, whoever's in the lineup. I don't care. Let's attack that side of the Let's attack Josh Norman. Because at the very least, we'll get a defensive pass interference penalty. Or the ball's overthrown and it falls incomplete. But that's their recipe for success right now, because you don't have your starting left tackle. You don't have Roger Saffold, your starting left guard, and you're playing with backups. Look how fast the 49ers pass rush is getting home. It's 1.5 seconds. 1.3 seconds. I don't know. I don't have a stopwatch, but if I did, I'm telling you right now, the Tennessee Titans are just playing scared football because they don't have the personnel to run what they really want to run with Derrick Henry out. I don't know. They have David Quisenberry there. I like saying David Quisenberry. My man, his last name's Quisenberry. So I think David Quisenberry played at San Jose State, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. All right. Oh, here's A.J. Brown. And there's Fred Warner. All-pro Fred Warner. All-pro Fred Warner. Look at that. Michael Miller, you still want to get rid of Fred Warner. Tune in and watch Fred Warner just sniff this out. I mean, that was considered a pass, by the way, first and foremost. That's not a run play, even though it looked like it, because anytime the quarterback shovels it forward, it's a forward pass, for those who don't know. I need to know this for my grades, obviously, because I want to know who's in coverage. So then it's considered a run play, but it's really technically a pass play. And Fred Warner sniffed it out and made a nice play as an underneath curl hook defender. Sniffed it out. That was even his assignment. All right. My man, what's up, G? He asked this question: which team's defensive line will dominate the opposing offensive line? And I said it once, I said it twice. I said the 49ers defensive line will dominate the Titans offensive line. I said that about, 30 minutes ago? Just getting back to your questions. What's up, G says, I think Debo will score a rushing touchdown. I think he'll score a rushing touchdown too. Debo Samuel. Crazy. Tommy Huxley says Broncos have 0 Pro Bowlers and not a Surtain fan. Tommy Huxley is not a Surtain fan. Please tell me why, Tommy. I would like to talk to you or discuss with you why you would think that, because I graded every single snap of Pat Surtain, dating back to 2019 at Alabama. And again, he's the most fundamentally sound cornerback, and I said this in my pre-draft analysis, coming out since Ahmed Plummer. Not the same skill set in terms of being a ball hawk or something like that, because obviously Pat Surtain's a better ball hawk than Ahmed Plummer was, even though he had 7 INTs in that Pro Bowl year. What I will say this is he's the most fundamentally sound cornerback coming out of the draft and most NFL-ready cornerback coming out of the draft, kind of like Mac Jones is at the quarterback position in a very, very long time. And I said since 2000, back when Ahmed Plummer was drafted number 24 by the San Francisco 49ers out of the Ohio State University. They also rolled in the second round and got Jason Webster, my favorite one of my all-time top 5 favorite 49ers out of Texas A&M. Also got John Engelberger from Virginia Tech. They also, I believe, the year before that, got Chike O'Keefer. Also got Julian Peterson with the first-round pick. I think they traded with the Washington Redskins at the time, and the Washington Redskins had back-to-back top 5 picks. I think it was 2 and 3. They got LeVar Arrington from Penn State, and then they got Chris Samuels, I believe, out of Alabama, if I'm not mistaken. And then they traded back, and that's why they got multiple picks. And at number 16, they got Tweener. We call them tweeners back then. We don't call them edges. They're called tweeners because they can play defensive end in a 4-3 or a 3-4 outside linebacker, and Julian Peterson from Michigan State University. If I'm not mistaken. If I am not mistaken. All right. Here we go. Thank you, Daniel, for the super chat and super sticker. I really appreciate it. Nothing but love here in the BWF. If you want to consider sending me a super chat or super sticker and like the work, like the value that I'm adding right now, consider sending me a super chat. We're going to go ahead and do this right now. We're just going to cover the game. It's 49ers 7, the Tennessee Titans 0. It's the second quarter, 14:50 left in the second quarter. They're showing a graphic right now of Jimmy Garoppolo's first 8 games. He's 3-5. Last 6 games, he's 5-1. Here's a question to you, Niner fans. Do you want Jimmy Garoppolo to return in 2022? Because if he takes this team to the playoffs in a deep playoff run, is it all for naught? Is this Jimmy Garoppolo really Jimmy Garoppolo's one more year or one last dance, as it is Aaron Rodgers? And if it is, are you guys comfortable with Trey Lance coming in when the 49ers are conceivably a playoff contender? These are really hard-pressed questions, because do you save $25 million in non-guaranteed money? His no trade clause expires, so you're going to trade him off. And is it going to be a first-round valued pick? No, I don't think so. I don't think you're going to get a first-round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo, even if he ends the year on a high note. I think what you're getting is at best a second-round pick, because that's what you traded to get him in return with the New England Patriots. And I don't think his stock has gone up all that much, even though the starting experience and taking him to a Super Bowl or helping him take to the Super Bowl, he's more of a game manager. I think if you're looking to trade for a tier 1 quarterback based on the system that you're in, if he's ultimately a game manager and can't come back from a 14-point deficit in the fourth quarter because he's a game manager, I see more of a third round pick compensation type of a deal. Second, third round pick. Second, third round pick would be nice. You can now you can leverage your draft picks because you don't have a first for that Trey Lance deal. Here's Jeff Wilson going up the gut. And they have Daquan Jones there from the Tennessee Titans, number 90. They have Jeffrey Simmons, number 98, who I already said was a first-team All-Pro, not All-Pro, first-team, or a Pro Bowl player, I should say, playing at a really high level in my grading system. Jeffrey Simmons is. What you'll notice about Jeffrey Simmons' game is he's strong as an ox at the point of attack, and he uses his weight and his leverage to his advantage. He's good at bull rushing, just like Jonathan Allen is with the Washington football team. Really strong at the point of attack, and basically they reset the line. They're basically defensive ends in a 3-4 defense or a 4-3 defense that really, as an interior defensive lineman, can play a nose in a 34 base, but have the interior pressure of a pass rusher to be not only not a one-trick pony. So they can do multiple different things, and I think that adds value when you look for a guy and you look at the draft in 2022 and say, okay, can Jordan Davis out of Georgia be that guy for us like Jeffrey Simmons is and some of these other guys are with their respected teams? And that's going to increase their value. Here's Jimmy Garoppolo, throws it deep. He's open. Juszczyk almost had it. Shh. Jimmy Garoppolo, how can you miss that throw? He's wide open. What are you doing? What are you doing, Jimmy Garoppolo? What are you doing? He's wide open. He just ran, I believe it's a wheel route. Oh no. Yeah. It was like a wheel route. And that was a perfect touchdown pass that, again, could Trey Lance make that throw and would it have been a touchdown and resulted in 6 points? I mean, these are plays that you can't leave on the field in a deep playoff run. And Jimmy Garoppolo, you continuously make this mistake. You don't throw to the receiver in stride. You're inaccurate downfield when it's past 20 yards of air yards. And here you go. Just dump it down to JaMycal Hasty. All right. So instead of being 14-0, now it's third down. And Rashaan Evans, Roll Tide Roll, who the team didn't pick up their fifth-year option on him. So he'll be an unrestricted free agent at the end of the year. So if you're looking for an inside linebacker, you might want to take a hard look at Rashaan Evans if you liked him coming out of college out of Roll Tide Roll, Alabama. Which brings me to, off the top of my head, Pittsburgh Steelers. Are they going to extend and give the fifth-year option on Devin Bush? That's something remaining to be seen because they traded up so much draft capital to get him once Devin White was off the board to number 5 with the Tampa Bay Bucks. All right. Nice tackle. I think that's Cruikshank. It is Cruikshank, number 29. I literally play like a game of Madden in my head. It's just like, which I don't like Madden. Madden sucks, by the way. Although I can't wait for that documentary to come out. JG overthrew Juszczyk, yeah. Oh, Mela says, perfect. Now I got you synced up with what I'm watching on TV. Thank you. Hey, this is awesome. This is what I used to do on Hot Mic when I covered college football, covered all the NFL primetime games like on the Thursday night football game, Sunday night football game, Monday night football game. They're selling out on the run here, and it's going to be play action. It is. It is play action. Run for the first down. Oh, nice. That was just a nice drag route by Deebo Samuel, finding the soft spots in zone coverage, because what happened was you saw the second level backers sync up, sell out on the run, and they couldn't see anyone running behind them on that shallow crossing drag. You'll see this right here. He just runs right behind the second level backers, and there's no way that Zach Cunningham can go and mirror and be in position. There's just no way. Great play by Jimmy Garoppolo to know where his help is, knowing where the security blanket was in 1-9. Deebo Samuel, and Deebo Samuel, man, Deebo Samuel is a freaking monster. And we saw it there. All right, so here we go with the Tennessee Titans, 10:54 left in the second. 49ers up 7-0, and it's second down, and Bud Dupree forces them out of bounds. So I am literally 30 seconds behind. So if you want to sync it up like Melo did, that's awesome. Here on YouTube TV. By the way, YouTube TV, if you're watching, please strike a deal with ESPN so we get ESPN. My man, What's Up G, told me that ESPN is no longer on YouTube TV because they couldn't reach a deal. That sucks. That's one of the reasons why I got YouTube TV was for ESPN. So get it done. Like, I need ESPN. Otherwise, I'm switching. No, I'm joking. I'm not going to switch. I like YouTube TV. But in seriousness, if ESPN Plus, if I wasn't an ESPN Plus subscriber, part of the Disney Channel network, I would be upset. But because I have ESPN Plus, I'm okay. All right, here we go. Harold Landry is going to be screaming off the edge on 3rd and 11. He has a tendency to do this. He's lined up off sides, it looks like. I believe it's Harold Landry. He's like, I think Bud Dupree. Oh, Bud Dupree was off sides, but that looks like a holding penalty as well. I think this is going to be a negated play because I saw Bud Dupree jump the snap count, number 48, but then also left tackle Trent Williams held on the back of Bud Dupree's jersey. I think these penalties were offset and the play will be replayed. I think 3rd down would be replayed because what happened, I think these penalties offset. Let's see if I'm right. Bud Dupree was offsides. He jumped offsides, but Trent Williams also held Bud Dupree as he initially won the get off. So I think these penalties were offset and replay the down, 3rd down. If I get this right, I watch so much coaches film. I'm pretty sure this is how Hockley's going to play it. Ooh. Oh, it was a face mask on Trent Williams, not a hold. I think he grabbed him by the face mask or the horse collar, actually. I think it was the horse collar. Let's see if he did. Checking off another beast receipt. Oh, it was a face mask. But he pulled him by the horse collar, too. Either way, you can't pull the guy by the nameplate. You can pull him by the hair. If it's a ball carrier, but not on a pass rush. Again, one negates the other because of the simple fact that it was a personal foul penalty, not a holding penalty, because he grabbed the face mask. So because one is a bigger penalty than the other, that one precedes and negates the offside penalty. So, wow, that was a huge play. Now instead of 3rd and 11, it's 3rd and 26, and it backs up the San Francisco 49ers, who were once in field goal range, are now backed up on the Tennessee Titans 36-yard line. All right, I would play a cover 4 shell right here with 3 underneath defenders. I'm not going to give the 49ers good field position here because I'm going to play it honest. And here we go. They just run a screen. And, wow, Deebo Samuel's so awesome. Like, they were out of field goal range. Deebo Samuel picks up positive yards from all those missed tackles. And again, we talked about missed tackles earlier on the broadcast, and you can't do that. You can't do that. Jeffrey Simmons, you just missed a tackle there, bro. What happened? I'm giving you love, Jeffrey Simmons, and you just missed a tackle. Now, I know it's on the wide receiver, but again, come on, man. He's right there in the breadbasket. You got to make that tackle, make that stop. That will be a missed tackle on your BWF grading system. I can tell you that. All right. Robbie Gould, does he make this 48-yard attempt? It's gold for gold. There you go. Here's the question for you guys as you guys watch this broadcast. Mello, thank you so much for tuning in. It's funny. It says, Mello says, bro, Chacho, it looks like the offense is doing very well except for the interception and that missed touchdown. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But again, when you look at the Tennessee Titans and what they're missing, they don't have a lot of key. Without your workhorse and the staple of your team in Derrick Henry, it's not going to look good for you. It's not going to look good for you because everything, your team, your personnel is basically a run first team. I don't care if you have 8, 9 men in the box. We're going to run it down your throat with Derrick Henry, win the time of possession. Ryan Tannehill being the game manager is not going to screw it up for us because we don't need him to. He just needs to drive the Ferrari. When you don't have Derrick Henry there and you take the training wheels off, this is what you get. You get a lethargic, stagnant Titans offense where not only are you missing Derrick Henry, but you're also missing, which in my opinion is even more important than Derrick Henry, because everything starts up front and opening those holes for Derrick Henry in your offensive line on that left side with left tackle Taylor Lewan out, Roger Saffold out, your left guard. So you guys are really in a bind, Titans fans, because you can't run the ball. You obviously can't throw the ball because you don't have enough time to run play action because you're not generating any type of threat in the run game. And so now you're a one-dimensional offense. I think this is what's happening with the Tennessee Titans. I think the 49ers are playing this very honest. If I'm DeMeco Ryans, I'm just playing cover 4 all the way through, daring Ryan Tannehill to beat me with his arm because he can't. He doesn't have the threats. Now you have A.J. Brown, you have Julio Jones. The one thing that I will say is I will attack the boundary cornerbacks. I don't care if it's a cover 4 and they're playing deep and they have 2 high safeties. I'm going to attack that because that's my best shot. Either it's a PI penalty, an incomplete pass, or a long play for a first down. That's what I would do. I would say, you know what, Ryan Tannehill, let's just gun it. Let's not throw it in double coverage, but if we see Jimmy Ward playing the other side, if we see Jaquiski Tart on one side, I think Jimmy Ward has more range than Jaquiski Tart. And if that boundary cornerback, if it's Ambry Thomas, Dio Lenore, whoever, Josh Norman, let's attack that side. I'm going to throw it from the numbers to the boundary where only you can get it. Julio Jones, you're a big receiver. I'm going to challenge you, and I'm going to have faith in you to win those and high point those 50-50 balls, climb the ladder, and get yards after contact once you make that catch. You good with that? If I was a wide receiver, I'd be like, hey, let's go. Let's go. Let's do it. Because I can beat and I can stack that boundary cornerback up on top. I can get inside or outside leverage if he's giving me a free 6-7 yard release already. And if I have the deep speed to hit that second gear and I can stack him on top, then it's go all day. You feel me? What's up, G? Thank you for the scoop. He says DJ Jones is questionable to return with an ankle injury. So I'm wondering if it's a high ankle injury, and that's going to be a huge, huge blow to this team, because if it's a high ankle injury, and I talked about the grade of the sprain, because again, that's what I do, football and fitness, obviously being NASM trained, high ankle sprains are a really big deal because the grade of the sprain is going to determine whether or not he can come back in 2 to 3 weeks, next week, whatever the case may be. But it's not looking good for DJ Jones if it is in fact a high ankle sprain. I just want to know the grade of the sprain for this last few weeks of the season. And here we go. Just stack the box, DeMeco Ryans. This is what he's doing. You cannot do anything. You can't run the football. And I know that's the identity of Coach Vrabel, but you can't do it against this team. You just can't do it. You just cannot do it. What's up, G? Says JG value may rise because this year's quarterback draft is really weak. This year's quarterback class is really, really weak. Really weak. And 2 chop blocks. You cannot chop block. A chop block is where you attack the opponent's legs outside the tackle box, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, it's a high-low block. Yeah. So a chop block is when, that's right. So it was inside the tackle box. That's what a chop, excuse me. After further review, BEASTwriter was wrong. So anytime a offensive lineman is engaged with defensive lineman, another offensive lineman cannot double block and attack that opponent's knees. That's considered a chop block. And they're running it on 1st and 22 because, well, they don't have anything else going for them. With DJ Jones and Pam Oliver giving the scoop on DJ Jones' history as he went to the locker room, and so did What's Up G here on this broadcast. It's interesting to point out that the interior run defense is not going to take a hit today because, again, it's basically neutralized. You don't have your starting left side, and you don't have DJ Jones in there, who's your best run stuffing 4-3 defensive tackle in there, or IDL playing the 3 technique. It's basically an even matchup because Eric Armstead, he's serviceable. He's average as a run defender. Obviously, we talked about how Nick Bosa is doing well in anchoring the edge outside, but there's really no one inside that can really reset that line of scrimmage because DJ Jones was that guy. He was an interior pusher. He pushed the offensive lineman backwards, and when you do that, it opens up a lot of different things for your second level backers, frees up guys like Eric Armstead, who can win his one-on-one matchups based on his pre-snap technique. Oh, man, I'm not liking the way the Titans are just playing this villain. Like, my question to you is, why would you not attack? You have Julio Jones. Why would you not attack Ambry Thomas? Look, I'm attacking Ambry Thomas every single play. And look, they have Jimmy Ward on his side, but if you notice, Ambry Thomas is not. Look how, oh my gosh, it's like, I don't know. Ambry Thomas to me is just, he looks lost. Whoever's playing your third, your fourth, he looks lost. He looks lost. You got to stack and shed. That's one thing that I'm seeing with guys like Marcel Harris, who is a converted safety to a linebacker, is you got to learn how to stack and shed, guys. So what happens is it's a read and react style of defense on the second level, because obviously the defensive line is the one that's dictating how you're going to read your keys. With that being said, once you stack, you got to learn how to shed. You got to get off that block and make a play. If you don't do that, that running back's going to have a free real estate to work with on that second level, and that's what you saw there. Contavious Street with a nice TFL. It's now third down. You cannot. It's 3rd and 2. What I would do is I'm not going to run it because you can't run against this defense, even though DJ Jones is out. Because again, if you look at look at that defensive front seven. Fred Warner's getting everyone in position right now, which, by the way, Michael Miller said you should trade him, which is, I guess you want to trade Fred Warner. Just trade him. He's not good. He's average. I don't know. I disagree with that. Calling Fred Warner's average is so wrong. What you saw there on that play is something that I mentioned earlier on live streams. You saw Jimmy Ward come up and climb up as a 2 deep high safety look, and then he shoots back up the gap as an underneath curl flat defender or curl hook defender, because Ryan Tannehill saw a 2 deep high safety look and watched Jimmy Ward just climb up and play that. Boom. And Greg Olson's just echoing my analysis right now. It's basically saying exactly what I'm saying. And you're seeing this with starting safeties now, right? So back in maybe the early, here's Brandon Ayuk. Maybe back in the early 90s when you had guys like Darren Woodson, when you had guys like Tim McDonald, when you had guys have like Leroy Butler, you had all these. Thank you so much, Mike Fund. Yes, I need a new mic. Is my mic acting up? If it is, let me know. If my mic is acting up, please let me know. I was talking to What's Up G about it. That's why he's on. He's one of my moderators here in the BWF. If my mic is messed up, let me know. I am going to get a new mic. I'm saving money up for a new mic, so thank you. This Blue Yeti Nanny. My Blue Yeti Nanny. I think that's a new thing I'm going to say now. This is my Blue Yeti Nanny. How you like it? You like my Blue Yeti Nanny, yeah? Yeah? Blue Yeti Nano. It's called the Blue Yeti Nano. I don't know where I was going with the conversation, but I am going to get a new mic. So I'm saving money to not get a Blue Yeti Nano, or a Blue Yeti, I should say, because this is the Nano. But I'm going to get something a little bit better. And for something that was $125, I thought this would work well, but it's not. It's crapping out. But thank you so much, Mello, for the super chat and super sticker. I really appreciate it. If you have questions, bro, or anyone that's watching this, give me a thumbs up. If you want to send me a super chat, super sticker like Mello just did, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If not, I totally understand. Just give it a thumbs up if you like what I have to say, and it would really help, and that's free. That doesn't cost a thing. But getting back on topic here with the Blue Yeti Nanny. No. The Blue Yeti Nano. I need a new mic. But if you guys have any questions, go ahead and shoot them my way. I'm getting questions. I'm seeing the notifications. Oh, I'm getting a lot of DMs. I haven't even been checking my DMs right now. A lot of you guys send me DMs instead of on the actual Twitter feed. And I think you guys have all been saying you've been doing that because you're afraid of the backlash of people calling them stupid questions. And there's no such thing as a stupid question. Anyone who says there's a stupid question, you're being stupid, because there's no such thing as stupid. I don't know everything, and I'm still learning. I'm still growing, just like all of you guys are. So for any troll that comes in and says, "Oh, that's a stupid question," like, nah, man, it's almost like, dude, like, what? You're perfect? Are you perfect? Let me just get to some of your questions on here, and I got some Instagram questions too. I know I had no idea that a lot of you guys were on Instagram following me for football. Usually you guys follow me on Instagram for my Fitspiration because of my being Evogen athlete, sponsored athlete, my competitions, going for my pro card and so forth. But I had no idea you guys, usually people follow me for that. So football and fitness, that's what we do. All right, so let's. All right, so we have a question from Chris on Twitter. He says, Ryan, what is your long-term outlook for Ambry, as in Ambry Thomas? I feel like he has been in the right place, the right time, but failed to make the necessary plays. Not place. Is that something, I get it. Is that something that he can get better at over time? Let's not forget Ward's first season. Thoughts? I'll answer that after this play. It's a run to the right, and he went nowhere. That was a nice. Bud Dupree does a really good job at setting a hard edge. I covered Bud Dupree back in 2019 for the Pittsburgh Steelers for Sports Illustrated, playing at a first-team All-Pro level in 2019 and 2020 before he tore his ACL Week 12 against the Baltimore Ravens, signed that big money contract with the Tennessee Titans, and Alex Highsmith now took Bud Dupree's place in Pittsburgh. But getting back to it, as a third-round pick. Getting back to Chris's question, he asked me about Ambry Thomas, and I feel that he's asking me if he can get better over time. Of course, any player can get better over time. Obviously, the rookie season is a learning season, and year two is really where I judge the player or start judging the player, because I've been doing this for a long time, well over a decade, and scouting players and so forth. And one thing that you never want to do is you never want to shortchange a person. For instance, you see Bud Dupree making plays, right? Back-to-back plays here, really applying pressure. But at the end of the day, he didn't get his start coming out. I believe he came out of Kentucky, right? Drafted number 22 overall or something like that. And he was viewed as a bust, right? And that's like, well, the first 2 years, you really can't give a guy a bust label. I don't think you're doing yourself justice by doing that. I think that's totally wrong. I think year two, if you're not seeing any progressions, then yeah. However, when it comes to Ambry Thomas, when it comes to D. Lenore, it's my job to criticize or praise the player. It's a player's job to perform, right? I say it's always my job to project and predict. It's the player's job to perform. Otherwise, why follow me and why ask me these questions in real time? And then you can cross-check it in hindsight, because I'm not a FFF. I'm not a triple F. I'm not a flip or fake. And this is exactly what I said in real time as we were doing the live stream during the draft. I said Ambry Thomas was a bad pick. I said Aaron Banks was a bad pick. And I said D'Lo Lenore was a bad pick. And people are, oh, you don't know. Shanahan said this. And John Lynch would know better than you, because it's like, nah, man, like the beast receipts check out. But anyways, okay, cool. I'm not saying I'm right 100% of the time, but whatever. Fast forward to today, another beast receipt checks out. But Ambry Thomas, what it comes down to me and what I saw in college was his inability to know how to leverage his splits, pre-snap, knowing techniques, knowing down and distance, knowing where the sticks are. Why are you playing with a 6-7 yard cushion behind the sticks? Or if it's a 3rd and 4, why are you playing behind the sticks? You're giving a free release for the wide receiver to get off the line. And once he comes off that line and eats that cushion, if he runs a 4-3, 4-4, you're now in a compromised position because you're opening your hips up too early. Is it a press bail technique? Are you playing an angle pedal? These are different things that you look for. So that's why when I say Ambry Thomas was not going to be good at the NFL level, and not saying that he won't be good, I'm just saying, that's just my prediction. That's what we're seeing today. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed that. And that's why I said it was better for the team to just stick and stay where they're at instead of trading down with the Las Vegas Raiders and missing out on Asante Samuel Jr., who, if you watch my draft grades on the live stream as I graded every single NFC team and AFC West team, you would see why I criticized on those later picks in the top of the second round, why I criticized teams not getting Javonte Williams, like the Atlanta Falcons. Why did they not get Javonte Williams? And we had Mike Rothstein on here from ESPN. We debated that, and I'm not very well respected Mike Rothstein, but I said, you know what? I thought they kind of missed. I didn't think they should have went after Richie Grant. Thought they should have went Javonte Williams. And now you see Javonte Williams cross-checking another beast receipt, having a good year with the Denver Broncos, coming out of North Carolina. Same thing with Michael Carter. I thought he should have been in play in the 3rd round instead of Ambry Thomas. Instead, they wait to the 4th, and New York Jets pick him up, and then they roll with Trey Sermon out of the Ohio State University. So here we are today. And Aaron Banks has been basically a relatively healthy scratch, and at some point you're gonna have to play the kid. So this is a redshirt season for Aaron Banks. Now next year you're gonna play him, and then 3rd year you're gonna see something happen. No, I don't see it. I don't see it. Anyways, Mello, thank you so much for the super chat and super sticker, though. Mello, Jimmy giving me indigestion. He just seems a little jittery or a bit off on some plays. Yeah, I can't say you're wrong. I cannot say you're wrong. And this game, like I said, the Niners should win this game convincingly. I think the Niners should win this game convincingly. The score is 10-0, and they should win this game convincingly with 3:07 left in the second. Now, I say that and watch me be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I said take the under. If you guys, for those of you that bet, you guys know my track record with the over-under when it comes to NFL games. Although I did miss, and I'm calling myself out, I did miss the over-under on the Monday Night Football game with the Bears and Vikings. I missed that one. I got it wrong, guys. I'm human. I got it wrong. All right, 1st and 10. The Tennessee Titans have the ball, and they're just going to throw these stinky-donk screens, and you're just going to see guys like Jaquiski Tartt come up and just hit players because they're not throwing it deep. Like, if you're going to play up Ryan Tannehill, you're doing yourself you need to throw against Ambry Thomas. Like, what is the problem there? That's your best shot. These dinky-donk passes against this 49ers disciplined defense that's already playing in the cover 4. Right now, it's a cover 4. It looks like a cover 4 right now. And they ain't get anywhere. Here we go. All right. So now you see the fans getting booing, and I would boo too. I'm like, dude, what are you guys doing? You got Dylan Ray Dunn's there in their draft from North Dakota State, if I'm not mistaken. What is going on? And I'm running draft history. I'm getting ready for my 2022 NFL draft. And I look at the roster. You know, you have McNichols there. You have A.J. Brown there. You have Julio Jones there, but they're going to need, in the offseason, man, they're going to have to shore up that offensive line. They're obviously going to need, and they thought this was the year, and the X factor was supposed to be Julio Jones. He's not. He's just injured. And I again, if you guys want to see what I had to say about Julio Jones, I had my man from ESPN, Teron Davenport, on here, who covers the Tennessee Titans, is covering the game right now as we speak. And my man, TD, we spoke about it, and I was wrong. I said Julio Jones is going to be the X factor for them. He's going to be healthy because if you look at his track record over the duration of his career, he hasn't been not durable. He's been very durable. And then I think I jinxed Julio Jones because he's not been durable this year. Sorry, Julio Jones, roll tide roll. But yeah, I got it wrong. On that one. 2007 Magoo's in the house. 2007 Magoo is in the house. Thank you so much. I appreciate the love, Magoo. All right, so we have Nick Lang on Facebook said, let's go Niners by 10 tonight, 27-17. I wonder if they're related to my man Bob Lang, who was the former PR for the San Francisco 49ers and who is now with the Philadelphia Eagles PR department. This is his first year, by the way, with the Philadelphia Eagles. Hats off to my man Bob Lang. People are wondering, who's Bob Lang? Well, he's that guy, if you guys remember. You guys remember watching the Jim Harbaugh and the Jim Shorts handshake against the Detroit Lions, which, by the way, during this time, I was covering the San Francisco 49ers, but not as a beat writer yet. It was back in 2011. And do you guys remember that handshake? It was a really good game between two. I think they had the same record. I think they were both 4-2 or something like that, heading into the midway point. And the Niners came out and won that game, and that handshake where Jim Harbaugh just kind of slapped Shorts, just to add a excitement, not being mad or anything like that. And Jim Shorts gets bent out of shape, and starts rumbling toward Jim Harbaugh. And then Bob Lang was like breaking it up. So that guy in the suit and tie, that with the goatee, that's Bob Lang, for those who don't know. And as I was writing Coach's film, it brought back memories, the people I used to work with 49ers who are no longer there. Obviously, Bob Lang's with the Philadelphia Eagles. You have my man Fergie, Jeff Ferguson, who the 49ers let go back in 2018. My man Fergie, who is now the head of the athletic and strength and training department over with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and GM Trent Baalke. Worked with both those guys during their tenure there. All right, back in the game, 10-0, San Francisco 49ers on top in a 2-possession ball game at the 2-minute drill. And what we're seeing right now is we're just seeing a lot of gimme plays right now. K'Waun Williams, again, I would use Julio Jones and A.J. Brown to a pulp. I would just throw out and just use them as much as possible, because at the end of the day, if you don't, why have them as decoys, especially in a game where you don't have Derrick Henry, you don't have Taylor Lewan, you don't have Roger Saffold, so starting left side of the offensive line is all for naught because you're playing with backups. And on the flip side of that, the 49ers defensive front seven is pretty sound and disciplined there. It's surprising that Azeez Al-Shaair is playing with a sprain. All right, here's something that I'm noticing right now. All right, this is something that I'm noticing right now when it comes to Azeez Al-Shaair and that sprained elbow. You see him miss that tackle? That was due to the sprained elbow. He would usually and normally make this tackle. Unfortunately, what happened here was he kind of missed that tackle at the point of attack, and usually he would make this play. You cannot grab the face mask like that. So this is going to be called back. But it's okay. So basically, this will be a 15-yard penalty. But again, the run counts. So instead of being, I believe, instead of it being 1st and 25. Oh, wait. Okay. That's okay. So never mind. It's going to be 1st and 20. It's either 1st and 20 or 1st and 18. I don't know. I don't know where did that foul occur. Because it was a positive run. If it stopped, I don't know. Because that's hands to the face. That's a tough call. That was like hands to the face. It could go either way. Oh, it's the 1st and 20. I don't know. My man Kim Ferrison, the Hofstra product and recruit, says, I like the guy, but Jimmy be killing me, Beast. I know. I feel it. All right, Ryan Tannehill's going to do check down right here. Just check it down, bro. And that should be coming back. That should be a hold. There was a holding penalty on the back end there. Ambry Thomas was graded at a -9. Horrible in my BEASTwriter grading system in week 13. Week 14. Week 15 graded as a 1. This could be defensive pass interference because he didn't turn and look for the ball. And he got his hands on the receiver. You see this? He got his hands on the receiver and he didn't look for the football. That should have been the defensive pass interference penalty, and the 49ers lucked out. Again, you have to play the ball. And you see Ryan Tannehill, if he was like, what's going on? Look at 72 is like, yo, that's pass interference. They know to attack Ambry Thomas. And Ambry Thomas, I wouldn't be doing this, Ambry Thomas, because they're going to go after you again. I wouldn't do that. Later in this game, I would strongly suggest you don't do that, Ambry Thomas. They're going to be picking on you, and they do it right there, and that ball was just thrown way too high for Westbrook. So, yeah. Again, don't be doing this, Westbrook. Not Westbrook, but Ambry Thomas. Don't be doing this, man. They're going to be attacking you. That's back-to-back targets because they know you're the weakest link. I wouldn't do it. I don't know. I wouldn't do it. Especially as a rookie and I'm getting beat. I wouldn't show up the offense by doing that. Yeah, Kim Ferrison, you play college. You know. He says, Thomas got to be ready. Yeah, I know. Exactly. He does. And that was a nice play by K'Waun Williams. He was in the perfect trail mode. He knew where his help was. Jimmy Ward was already there as a curl hook defender, took that away, and that drag route had nowhere to go because, again, the Tennessee Titans are just donking this. Tennessee Titans are horrible, bro. Tennessee Titans are horrible. They got beat by the Pittsburgh Steelers 19-13 last week. I believe they didn't even score in the second half. I was running grades on that. Horrible. The Tennessee Titans are horrible. If they make the playoffs, because again, I believe they're in a 1-game lead over the Indianapolis Colts, who I already tweeted 3 weeks ago that the Indianapolis Colts are one team that no team wants to play. in the AFC if they make the playoffs at that time. That was 3 weeks ago, obviously. And people were like, oh, no, the Titans are there. I was like, man, they don't have Derrick Henry there. That's going to be huge. That's going to be huge. All right, so here we go. They punt it inside the 10. Ayuk should let that bounce. That was a smart play right at the 10-yard line. Usually, if you want to talk about fundamentals, what you do here is if a punt is sailing inside the 10-yard line, you let it bounce and you let it roll, and then you just live and die with where that ball ends up, whether it be in the end zone for a touchback or inside the 5-yard line. All right. Now, if it's on the 10-yard line, you can catch it because, again, that's kind of that fuga. That's kind of like that gray area that we discussed. And if it's on the 10-yard line, then you're good to go. All right. So. All right. So thank you so much. I think the mic is doing better. I don't know. We're gonna check it out. Let me know if the mic's okay. I think we're okay now. Thank you so much. What's up, G says better. So now my mic is going to crap out, and that's why I appreciate all the super chat and super stickers that's going toward the mic fund. Again, I have this Blue Yeti Nano, and it sucks. It sucks. I don't know. People like it. The reviews, all the reviews say it's the best thing since sliced bread. I don't know, man. Maybe Blue Yeti just doesn't like me. I don't know. My Nano just not having it. Not having it. But yeah, thank you everyone for the super chat and super sticker. All of this is going toward that. So thank you, Tony Nagatani from Hawaii, the 808. I see you. Thank you so much, Rick Reyes. Send me a huge super man. You always do. Always sending good vibes, bro. Thank you so much. Appreciate the love. Daniel Jr. Middleton, thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. Like, means a lot to me. And Mello, along with a few others on Twitter. I'm getting Twitter. Yeah. For those who don't know, I'm getting DM. So people are wondering how to send money on Twitter for tips, the tip function. I don't know how that works. I know there's a money icon that you can donate money on tips through Twitter because it's linked to your Venmo. So if you have Venmo, basically Twitter links it to your Venmo. Obviously, you have to hook it up to your Venmo, which is everyone has Venmo. Who doesn't have Venmo? And then you can send me tips that way. And that's how I've been receiving tips or donations and so forth. All right. We have a few more DMs here. Okay. All right, here's a question. If you were the GM, what would be the first order of business heading into 2022? Great question. Great. That's a great question. And to be honest with you, it really comes down to what we need. And I think it all starts, I'm a firm believer in building games from the inside out, not the outside in. And let's face it, the offensive line needs help. Offensive line needs help and boundary cornerback needs help. Now, I don't see any really strong boundary cornerbacks in this draft. I don't see that. I mean, I like Darian Kendrick from Georgia. I think he's a good guy. Now, for those who don't know who Darian Kendrick is, he's kind of been overshadowed this year as a transfer from from Clemson. He was in the doghouse, or what Dabo Sweeney would call the love shack. So he was in the love shack. He then transferred into the transfer portal and then went to Georgia playing, like I said, being overshadowed by guys like Jordan Davis. They got Wyatt there. They have Nakobe Dean, the inside linebacker, who's the heart and soul of that defense, number one ranked defense. So there's a lot of guys there that any team would be lucky to have. But I like guys like Darian Kendrick. I do like Derek Stingley out of LSU. I liked his freshman tape. I didn't like his tape after that. I thought he was a little bit inconsistent for my liking, but his skill sets and his traits mirror and match up. So I think you're basing it based on his freshman film, and whoever drafts him are basing it out of that. And I'm also thinking that you draft that guy because of the traits that he offers. I don't think he's scheme dependent. Now, he's a little bit on the shorter side, but at the end of the day, I think in today's NFL, you can use him as a boundary quarterback or a slot cornerback. I mean, we look at guys like Moore, right? Adam Moore, who's got his first Pro Bowl nod from the Indianapolis Colts.
But boundary cornerback needs to be addressed, and I wouldn't reach for a boundary cornerback in the second round because I don't hold a first round pick. What I would do is I would let the draft board talk to me and then go and select the best player available, because you never want to diminish the need based on, or excuse me, you never want to diminish the value of the pick based on drafting for need. I think you do that, you're doing yourself a disservice, because again, why select a player just because you need that player or you need that positional need? I would kind of fill that out in free agency, maybe get a veteran and see if he can kind of fill in that role. What a nice tackle by Jeffrey Simmons there. Wow. All right, so it's about 50 seconds left in the second quarter, right before halftime. The 49ers lead 10-0. And this is a must-win game for Tennessee, because if they lose this game, I believe they're only one game back, or one game ahead, I should say, of the Indianapolis Colts, who basically are a team that no one wants to face. All right, so it's 10-0. Like I said, they're letting the clock run. And I don't know why they would do that, because why would you quarterback sneak it there and not take a timeout? Like, are you just going to go into halftime? I don't know what Shanahan's thinking. Like, if you were going to go into halftime, then you wouldn't quarterback sneak it. Why would you risk Jimmy Garoppolo? I don't know. I don't know why you just didn't run the ball there instead of saving your quarterback and running quarterback sneak. Anyways, it's halftime. It is halftime. My man, what's up, G said it is halftime. Yes, it is halftime. I think we're going to wrap it up here. I had a lot of fun on this live stream answering your guys' questions. I can stay on if you guys have any more. Oh, actually, no, I take that back. There are some questions coming up. Let me get to those. Okay. So, first half is in the books. We can talk about that first half. Let's do that. Jimmy Garoppolo went 14 of 18 would be horrible. 14 of 18 for 144 passing yards, has 0 touchdowns, one pick, and he was sacked one time. Jeff Wilson has 10 carries for 32 yards for a 3.2 average. He's the leading rusher. Kyle Juszczyk has 1 catch for 26 yards on 2 targets, while Deebo Samuel, again, Pro Bowl Deebo Samuel, has 4 catches for 50 yards. And not a lot of offense going on, but at the end of the day, look at the Tennessee Titans. 23 yards rushing in the first half. 40 yards. 63 yards of scrimmage yards in the first half for the Tennessee Titans. Really? 63 yards? Did you even play? Did you even show up, Tennessee Titans? It's hard to say, because obviously half the team didn't show up because the whole left side of the offensive line is gone. Man. But, yeah, it's not looking good for the Tennessee Titans, I'm telling you right now. Yeah, not much to report after that. Let me get to 2 more questions, and I'm going to head out as this live stream wraps up. All right, so we have another question here. Robert Reynaud from the BEASTwriter Family says, hey, everybody, nice to be with you all from France. Come on. Hey, he's from France. I see it. Okay, so since you just came on from France, I think I feel like I'm more inclined to stay now because you're from France. No, that's interesting. You're from France. We have people from Brazil on here, France. What else we got? Oh, the UK is huge here on the BWF. Japan, obviously. China. A lot of people all over the country are here in the BWF. It's awesome. It's awesome. All parts of the world. All parts. So, yeah. All right. So, yeah, the analysis during the first half is the Tennessee Titans are playing scared. Let's start with the Tennessee Titans offense. I mean, when you generate 63 yards of scrimmage yards in the first half, you're playing scared. You're not playing to win. You're playing not to lose. And what I mean by that is you're not taking chances. You're not attacking Ambry Thomas. Now, they did it later in the second half. In the second quarter. But at the end of the day, it's almost like you got to continue riding that wave. Look, Ambry Thomas is the weak link on this defense. If I am any offensive coordinator, I'm going to be attacking that weak link, right? I'm going to be attacking that weak link at all costs. And when you do that, and you attack weak links, that's your best bet. And it's all football is a game of matchups, and so is Ambry Thomas versus any wide receiver. It's a game of matchups, and again, a rookie cornerback, even though you have help over the top, you're going to want to attack that. He's playing with a big, sizable cushion, a 6-7 yard cushion. So again, what I would do is I would line up, whether it's Julio Jones or A.J. Brown, I would line that guy on Ambry Thomas and whoever is lined up in the slot. And what I would do is, if you're playing quarters coverage, and I talked about this earlier, if you're playing quarters coverage, I would line 2 wide receivers on one side, or a 2x1 or a 2x2 set, however you want to see fit based on the personnel. And what I would do is I would have that slot wide receiver, if it's matched up on K'Wan Williams, he's smart enough to play that curl flat defender as a curl flat defender, giving Ambry Thomas help on the inside release. What I would do is I would say, okay, I'm going to run a high-low concept route where both wide receivers are kind of angling in the same direction. So if you're running a high-low route with that slot wide receiver running more of a, I guess like a skinny post type of a deal, or a shallow drag type of a deal, and you're taking away that cornerback, that slot cornerback, because no longer can he help that flat defender, be that flat defender help, because he has to take that slot wide receiver. And then what you're doing is you're running Fuga, because again, Ambry Thomas playing as the boundary cornerback, playing with a sizable 6-7 yard cushion, you're giving AJ Brown or Julio Jones a free release. You're just running quick slants. So it's a high-low concept where you're doing this, and that safety, who, if he's playing a 2 deep high look, doesn't have the range should come down, because again, if you're running a 6-7 yard quick slant and that deep safety, whether it's Jaquiski Tartt or Jimmy Ward, because Talanoa Hufanga's not in there, if they're playing 10 to 12 yards back behind the line of scrimmage, they're not going to have enough real estate to work with coming up and filling in that slot. And if you do that, then you can run a Fuga concept on top of that. If they start to bring up Jimmy Ward from that high-low concept, bringing up from a 2 deep safety look, and then coming up as a curl flat defender in, let's say, a cover 3, and Jaquiski Tartt rolls up from one end, and now he's playing single high with 2 boundary quarterbacks playing their respective thirds from boundary to the numbers, or numbers to the boundaries, depending on what side you're on. Then what you're going to do is you can run Fuga. You can run that tight end and have him come across the other way. So now run right behind Jimmy Ward, and then you can run those types of concepts. These are things that every offensive coordinator needs to pick up and learn on tendencies, and they do. That's why they get paid millions of dollars to do this. But I'm just pointing it out. All right, so if I am attacking Ambry Thomas, that's what I would do. You don't necessarily have to attack him one-on-one, which obviously you could do, but I would run different concepts. I would look into halftime and be like, okay, they're running cover 4 a lot of the times. They're running cover 2 a lot of the times. But at the same time, we can kind of run Fuga. We can kind of run a high-low concept, take away that curl flat defender, and then on the flip side of that, on the other side of the formation, if it's a 2x1 set or a 2x2 set, however you see fit, if it's strips formations on one side, whatever, however you want to mix it up to keep the defense on their toes. And I would run that tight end and run them across the other way. So now you have 2, kind of like a scissors, right? You kind of run these scissor routes, right? And you see this down inside the red zone, whether it be a rub route concept or whether it be a scissor concept, putting that strong safety or that free safety, that single high safety to a decision. Because when you run those scissor routes, it really confuses on the back end. And again, when you're the single high safety, you can't be in 2 places at one time. You're going to have to pick your poison. And think that's what you kind of got to have to do against Ambry Thomas. That's just me. Kim Ferris says, I can't get that wide open pass he missed. Yeah, I know. I don't know how Jimmy Garoppolo missed that pass to Kyle Juszczyk. Is that the one you're talking about? I can't get it out of my head on Jimmy misjuiced. He did that in Seattle. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how he did that. And then on the flip side of that, forget about attacking Ambry Thomas. Let's talk and attacking that 49ers defense. Let's talk about the 49ers offense and Jimmy Garoppolo being inaccurate. Like, come on. Like, you think you can win playoff football like this with a game of inches, and everything is amplified in a deep playoff run? And especially in today's game, not today's game, but from we're week 16 through 18, right? Because it's a 17-game season. From week 16 to 18 now, every game is a playoff game. This is a playoff game. Make no mistake about it, for the San Francisco 49ers and the Tennessee Titans. It's a playoff game. If you guys don't think it's a playoff game, I mean, come on. It's a playoff game. It's a must. Every game's a must-win game because you're fighting for seeding and you're fighting for a playoff berth. Once you get in the tournament, anyone knows, hey, it's any given Sunday. It's any given Sunday, but you have to get in the tournament. Take it one step at a time. Let's take baby steps. Take it one play at a time. Have a short-term memory, and then move on to the next play. And I think that's what the Tennessee Titans need to do is, hey, take a look at this. Say, hey, whatever scheme we were working with in the first half, playing scared, we can't do that in the second half. All right, because if we do, we're going to lose 20-13. Cam Ferrison says, no way, not against a good team. They will capitalize on that. Exactly. They will capitalize on that. You cannot play scared And if you're Jimmy Garoppolo, you can't miss open wide receivers, wide open wide receivers. It's just, you can't do that. You can't expect to win going against teams like the Green Bay Packers. I mean, I guess we can say the Arizona Cardinals, even though they're not playing so well, but you got Byron Murphy there. You have Buda Baker there. There's a lot of guys there that can really get after it in the secondary. The Rams, Jalen Ramsey's there. I mean, he's a true shutdown cornerback. I don't know, man. It's just, what do you expect to get done going against these NFC playoff contenders? Not pretenders. They're definitely playoff contenders, the teams that I just mentioned. There's going to be 3 NFC West teams that are going to come out of the NFC West to make the playoffs. Again, if you guys don't remember, there are a total of 7 teams making it from each division. Or each conference, I should say. Each division. That'd be crazy. Each division, 7 teams make it. That's like, no, that's impossible because only 4 teams in each division. Conference. 7 teams in each conference. 7 from the AFC, 7 from the NFC. 3 wildcard teams. Only the number 1 seed gets a first round bye and clinching home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Yeah. All right. So, Lunar Mystic says, what's up, Beast? What's going on? I see you. Thank you so much. And mahalo for hopping on. And Merry Christmas to you and your family. Happy Hanukkah. Whatever the case may be, whatever you celebrate. That interception pissed me off. Jimmy literally threw it at Jenkins. Janoris Jenkins, yes. Janoris Jenkins, something that I mentioned on my earlier live stream on how people were talking about Trayvon Diggs. I don't know how Trayvon Diggs is a top 5 Pro Bowl vote getter. I don't know about that, man. I disagree with that 110%, and I would debate on why he's not a top 5 vote getter. You give up a 70-yard touchdown to Deontay Harris and then circle back and double down on those gains, give up another touchdown the following week, and then the previous X amount, whatever. But I do like Trayvon Diggs. I'm not saying I don't like Trayvon Diggs or I'm hating on. I just call it how I see it. What's up, G? Jack Rabbit Jenkins. He changed his name. Jack Rabbit Jenkins. Yes, Jack Rabbit Jenkins. Because he's a jackrabbit. Kind of like Meta World Peace. Right? But no, then it would be Meta World Artest. Because he's kept his surname. Right? Kept his last name. I don't know. Kim Ferrison says, is it the Pro Bowl voting kind of funny anyway? Yeah, the Pro Bowl voting is a joke. It's an absolute joke. It's a joke to us as fans. Or fans that actually... I shouldn't say that because all fans are created equal in a sense. It's a joke to me because I grade every single snap and I see that. So I see who should be, kind of up there. And yes, there's some gray area. Like, for instance, how is Justin Simmons not in the Pro Bowl? But I bet you anything, Justin Simmons from the Denver Broncos, if you guys don't know, playing at a first-team All-Pro level in my grading system, just like Pat Surtain. He did not make the Pro Bowl. But yeah, I guarantee, and I'm one of the votes, if he continues playing like this for the Pro Football Writers Association, I can tell you, if you're watching, Justin Simmons, you're going to get my vote as a first-team All-Pro vote, as a starting free safety, as a first-team All-Pro. Best safety, free safety, that is, cream of the crop this year. Yes, better than Minkah Fitzpatrick, who didn't even make the Pro Bowl. But again, look at it. How can you take out Justin Simmons? Yes, Kevin Byard made it from Tennessee Titans. I get it. Free safety again, number 31. If you guys are watching the game, Kevin Byard's playing at a Pro Bowl level, obviously. But Justin Simmons is playing at an all-pro level. And again, he got that big money contract and is playing extremely well in a BDF grading system. Best free safety in the game right now in my BDF grades. Yes, even better than Kevin Byard, who made it. Or Byard. I say Byard. I'm not pronouncing your last name. Byard. How is he not a Pro Bowl? But yeah, I guarantee he'll be a first or second team All-Pro. I guarantee it. Every year there's that player like DeMario Davis. Like, he won't make the Pro Bowl, but he'll be an All-Pro. And we've seen it. For instance, go back. You want to talk about safeties and strong safeties. Rodney Harrison didn't get a lot of Pro Bowl votes, but got All-Pro nods. Same thing. All right. So it's funny, we're getting some people in here, and we're just going to have to block these guys because we have people in here who are kind of like shouldn't be on here. So we're just going to block these people, and that'll be it. There's a lot of if you're on YouTube right now, I gotta block all these. There's like 12 people right now that I have to block because they're hating. They're just trolls, and we're blocking them. We're blocking them right now. Every single one, we're blocking them. We're blocking these users. They can't go on. We're blocking them. We're blocking them. And here we go. So I apologize for that, but we got to block these people. Oh, I guess we're being rated. I don't know what that means, but is that bad or good? I don't know if a raid is good or bad. I don't know what's going on. Is Kitty goes meow. What is going on here? Anyways, we're getting a lot of I don't know if this is good for this raid. Is this raid good? I don't know. We're getting so much stuff right here. This is not good. So we're gonna have to block these people. Oh, a raid is a good thing. Is a raid good thing? Is this raid on what though? Oh, why are you blocking? Okay, maybe I shouldn't be blocking. I don't know. Oh, is this for? Oh, we aren't trolls. Oh shoot. So I gotta unblock these people now because I was blocking them. Thank you so much for all the raids. I have no idea how this raid works, but thank you. It's a good thing. These raids are good things. Okay, so why was I blocked? How do I unblock these people? Now I feel like a douchebag. And now I gotta unblock. There's so many people on here right now. And I apologize for if I blocked you. I got to unblock you. So I apologize for that. I thought I was getting rated in a bad way, but I think it's good. It says we are rating your channel. We are helping your channel. Check out the channel Tom Grossi. Okay, I'll check out Tom Grossi. Look at your subs and likes. Okay, I guess I'm doing well. I don't know. We're boosting your numbers. I had no idea. I apologize. How do I unblock people? There has to be ways to unblock it. I have to go back and I'm going to unblock these people. I only blocked like 5 people, but still, I don't want to block you guys. So let's see here. Let me just go here and I'll unblock you guys. I apologize for that. I feel like a douchebag for blocking you guys when you guys are rating me. How unprofessional and rude of me to do that. I apologize for the people that I block. I need to unblock you guys. I'm going to figure that out right now because I was just looking. And look, it's a very good thing. We are, look at, raid gives you likes. You're being like bombed by a bigger YouTuber. It's a good thing. Good Lord, you get viewers. Oh, okay. So we're helping you. This is awesome. Like all this is awesome. I appreciate it. I have no idea what's going on. I mean, I'm getting rated and I have no idea how this is going, but thank you so much for, I need to unblock these people. I blocked 5 people and I need to unblock them. But it's good. Thank you so much, Dragonfire. Ben Orr, thank you so much. Kelsey Perks, thank you so much for the super sticker and super chat. Say Razor when a streamer sends their viewers to another stream to say hello. Thank you. I appreciate it. I had no idea that you can do that on YouTube. I see this is, thank you, YouTube. And thank you, Kelsey Perks. I appreciate it. Raids are when a streamer sends their viewers to another stream. I had no idea how this works. I was so scared because usually it's spammers, but obviously it's not. It's legit. You guys are helping me, obviously. And now I feel like a douchebag because I blocked 5 people. I think it was like 4 people, but I need to unblock you guys. And I'm going to do that right now. So just got to do that. But thank you so much. I appreciate it. All the super sticker and super chats. I appreciate it. I am getting a lot of people on here. It's no joke. It is no joke right now. You guys are awesome. Tanya says you have a great smile. Well, thank you so much. Packers fan, I see you. I love the Packers. I love Go Pack Go. In fact, if I'm talking about the Green Bay Packers and being truthfully honest, Reggie White was the guy that I always loved. I wish he was on the San Francisco 49ers. The Minister of Defense didn't get him, but the Green Bay Packers had him. We talked about Leroy Butler earlier on. Obviously, Brett Favre has always been a thorn in the 49ers' ass, if I can say that. Antonio Freeman, always a good guy. To go up against Robert Brooks was another good player over the course of the years. Obviously, they had good special teams players with guys like Travis Jervey. We got him later on, but you guys also had Don Beebe, who's a good special teams player for you guys and wide receiver over the course of the years. Who else did you guys have? Mark Shimura from the Green Bay Packers. He was a good player for you guys. So I like it. A lot of Packers fans. All right. Let's see. So we are getting some information. I gotta unblock YouTube users right now. So I'm gonna do that. It's because I miss Reggie White. I miss Reggie White. Are you guys all Eagles or Packers fans? If you guys are Eagles fans and Packers fans, I love talking about the Eagles and Packers. I mean, I can talk about Eagles and Packers. I can talk about the Niners. I can talk about the Titans. I can talk about literally any team off the top of my head. I literally had no idea how this raid works, but I want to thank whoever rated me. Who rated me? I want to know who rated me so I can kind of give them a thank you and a shout out. So I can Tom raids smaller users have halftime of his streams. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. This is awesome. Mello says Ryan, also known as the BEASTwriter, analyzes all 32 teams. Yes, I do that. All right, Tom Grossi, go follow my man Tom Grossi. Thank you so much for rating my stream in a good way, in a positive. I want to raid back, even though it's not as big, but I think that'd be dope, right? Obviously, I'm verified on Twitter. I think that would help because we're live on Twitter right now. And for those who don't know, yes. A little background about myself. I cover all 32 NFL teams now as an NFL insider analyst. Before that, I covered the San Francisco 49ers as a beat writer, full-time beat writer for the San Francisco 49ers from 2013 to 2018. Moved on, covered the Pittsburgh Steelers for Sports Illustrated from 2019 until COVID. And once COVID hit, I started this YouTube channel covering all 32 NFL teams for the BWF, which stands for the BEASTwriter Family. So it's all about good vibes only because we cover all 32 NFL teams, and every team is well respected here. So if you're a Packers fan, give me a subscribe. I really appreciate it, and a thumbs up on the video. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's raid Tom. Yes, let's raid Tom. I don't know how to do that. I want to raid Tom back. How do we do? Oh, can I do that while I'm doing a live stream, or is that illegal or something? I don't know how to do that. Packers 79 said yes, he's trying to get 250. Wow, I'm just trying to get 10K. And let's do that. How do we raid back Tom with my subscribers? How do we do that? All right. Ishi says every halftime during football games, Tom raids smaller YouTubers and we send out love and support. Thank you so much. Is there a way someone can link me to Tom's YouTube channel? Or do I just look up Tom Grossi? Paste his link. Yeah, paste the link in the chat. And I'm going to go ahead and put it up in the chat. I feel like I should be able to do this. See, I'm a noob. Like, I have no idea how this works. I'm just going to Google Tom Grossi on YouTube. Maybe I see what you're saying. Okay, this guy's pretty big. Yes, 232,000. Tom Grossi, thank you so much for rating my channel. I appreciate it, brother. I see it right here. I'm going to do this right here. I think this is correct. And I'm going to put it up here. I think I just put it up. I'm not sure if I did this correctly. But I think this is Tom Grossi's YouTube, right? Am I doing this right? Tell me if I'm doing this right. I think this is a URL. I think this is the right Tom Grossi with 232,000 fans or followers. How do I raid Tom back? Is it okay for me to raid Tom back? And I just followed Tom Grossi. I just subscribed to his channel. How do we raid Tom? Oh, how do I raid Tom back? Oh, okay. I guess I'm doing it. I'm doing it right. Am I good? Okay, you did it correctly. Yep, you got it. Okay, you did it correctly. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate it. And I talk about all 32 NFL teams. I actually have my own algorithm. I don't rely on PFF for my grading system. For a grading system, I actually grade every single snap of a player. So if you want grades on, let's say, Jair Alexander when he was healthy, before he went down, I had grades on him. If you want grades on a guy like Rashawn Gary, I have grades on him. I grade every single snap. I watch coaches film. I get coaches film, and I can go ahead and give you guys grades. And I think that's a really good way of analyzing players and analyzing the pulse of the entire NFL. I think when you do that, you can kind of gain an appreciation of not only being a fan of a specific team, like the 49ers, like the Packers, like the Steelers, but you can gain an appreciation of the entire game of football. So I think that's what I try to bring to you. I try to make it a learning experience. So go in the chat. Just go in the chat and just say raid. Okay. So I go in my chat and say raid, correct? I'm going to go in my own YouTube channel right now and just say raid. Is that correct? Wow, I got 150 likes on this video. It's all because of Tom Grossi. Thank you so much. How do we So I wanna raid. Okay, so how do I? This is one of those things where. Okay, so we got to figure out how to do this. So I gotta raid this. Okay, here we go. All right, so I just gotta put raid. Do I just put raid Tom Grossi and put his URL there? Oh, you do it on his. Ishi says, "Oh my God, Beast, I follow you on Twitter." Thank you so much. I had no idea you follow me on Twitter, but thank you. Yes. Okay, so I do it on his. Okay, so I go on his channel and then I say raid. Is that what I do? Because I want to give him love too. Go in the chat and just say raid. Oh, so I go on his chat and say, there's not like a button that I say raid. Okay. I'm going to go on his right now and say raid. I hope I'm doing this right. If I do it wrong, I apologize. Okay, so Tom Grossi, I'm on his YouTube right now. He's obviously doing a live play. He's doing a live play-by-play reaction too. I subscribe to his channel and I just put raid. And it would be good. Like if I put raid, it's going to go. Correct? Man, the comments is... Okay, here we go. If I put raid like this, do I just go raid? Okay, I think I did raid. I think I put raid. I'm going to do it. Slow mode is on, it says. So hopefully it pops up on his end. But I said raid. Should I just keep on putting raid? I think I did something. I think I'm doing this right. I think I said raid on his, but there's like slow-mo mode on his. Oh, he's in the bathroom. All right, he's in the bathroom right now. He is going to the he's going to the potty right now. I'm on his live video. Oh, no button. Okay. Elusive Poet says YouTube raid lesson 101. Click on his live game stream. Then copy that URL and paste it here. Okay, click on his live game stream. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so copy, share, copy. Okay, let me see if I do this right. Hopefully I can do this right. And then go on mine and then put the URL in and then put raid. This is so complicated, but I appreciate it. And I need to, after this... Let's see here. Okay. All right. So I'm such a noob. So okay, I put the URL in and then I put raid. Can I put raid in front of the URL? I don't know. Can I put raid? And I'm just gonna do this, and then I put raid. Right? Did I do this right? Let me know. Melissa, I just went over there and thanked him for the love and support. Yeah, thank you. I was so caught off guard by that. But I do have to, I was like scared. I was like, wow, there's like hundreds and thousands of people on my live stream at one time. I was kind of blown away by that. Like, I was like, whoa, what's going on? Like, raid. Like, I thought it was like trolls. And I was like, oh. And then people were like, no, dude, you're being a douchebag. No, we're trying to help you. And then I was getting super stickers and super chats and a Merry Christmas come early for BEASTwriter and the BWF. And I'm like, oh, okay, my bad, dude. Like, I feel so bad. I hope I did this right. Did I do this right? Now I feel like a dick. Russ Weeks, that's right. Okay, I'm good. Thank you so much. What a day. We can talk football. We can talk about your favorite NFL team. I love talking football with all of you guys. Tania says, yes, you did it right. All you're doing is inviting your own viewers to jump over to another person's channel to give them some likes and subs and comments. You did it right. I just followed, if anyone knows Tom personally, I would love to have him on my show because, again, I don't have as many followers as him or subscribers or subs as him, but I would like to have and engage with other fan bases and other people, other influencers. I think he would be a good fit for the BWF. If he checked out like who we have on our show, we have everyone from like ESPN, NFL Network, being part of the NFL media as a member of the Pro Football Writers Association. Kind of built that up and have a lot of people helping me out in that regard. So it'd be cool to have Tom Grossi hop on the live stream, or not a live stream, but a video, and we could do a live stream at a scheduled time. And I think that would really help. It would do like a maybe like a collab or something to just kind of give him love too, because I mean this was overwhelming. Tom Grossi's been awesome. Thank you so much. Tom Grossi's been awesome. Yes, he's really good at responding. Ishii says, "Okay, all right." Mello says, "I'm just shaking my head with everything that's going on with Jimmy right now." Elusive Poet says, "Check your subs." Okay, let me check my subs. Oh my gosh. All right, let me check my subs. How do I check my subs? See, I'm so horrible at this. Like, people are like, "Dude, you don't know what you're doing." Well, no, not really. 200. Let's see here. How do I check my subs? Wow, the subs went up. Okay. Wow. Wasn't expecting that, but yeah, we got a lot of subs now. We got a lot of subs. Wow. Thank you. Appreciate it. I had no idea this was going on. Wow. All I can say is wow, wow, wow. I overwhelmed. Okay. This is really, really cool. This is really cool. Really, really cool. Thank you, Elusive Poet, for the love. I appreciate it. I need to, let's see how we go ahead and do this. I got to go to my settings now. So I'm going to go to my settings right now and do some stuff. What's going on right now? Was that a good play by Ambry Thomas? Wow, he threw it right into freaking Ambry Thomas. Ambry Thomas, I wouldn't be doing that, man. I wouldn't be doing that. They're just going to attack you, bro. I'm just saying, they're going to be attacking Ambry Thomas. Then it's a touchdown. So I wouldn't be celebrating Ambry Thomas. A little too early for that. Now it's a tie ball game, 10-10, or 10-9, depending. And yeah, so we're just gonna go here, 10-9. This is ridiculous. Anyways, all right. So. All right, so we're just gonna. All right, here, let's see who we got here. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate the love and support. You guys have been nothing but awesome here in the BEASTwriter family. A lot of stuff to talk about. A lot of stuff to talk about here, and I just wanted to go ahead and touch base on that because it's been awesome. It's been awesome. The raid thing was crazy. The raid thing was crazy. I wasn't expecting all those people to be on the rave. On the raid. It was a rave at one point. Now it's a raid. That's crazy. Off to the right says some of Grossi raid benefactors put together videos of their raid. Both streams. Go for it. Tom does raids at halftime during his lives. That's awesome. Hey Ryan, aren't you glad you didn't cut the stream short? Yes, I was. That's the thing. I was going to cut my stream short, and then I didn't. And now I'm so glad that I didn't because I was raided, and that raid was ridiculous. I was so scared from the raid. I keep on thinking rave. We're at a rave. Raid seems like a rave. Yes, I used to rave back in the day. If you guys don't know, literally love going to raves. Still love going to raves. I like raves, but raids, not raves. Awesome. Grand Riser. Yes, I am happy that I didn't cut the stream short. Now I feel obligated, not obligated, as if I had something else to do, right? To hop on. I might as well stay on. Actually, I was going to go work out because I do have my pre-workout here, and it's kind of, as you can see, it's kind of sad right now. But it's okay, man. Why not make a few bucks in the process? I'm at work right now, but when I started live streaming the game, Jimmy missed a layup to the juice for a touchdown. Yeah, my man Grand Riser from the BEASTwriter family. Yup, I see it. Braden 18 from the BEASTwriter Family says Tom interviews different teams' fans when they play the Packers. Well, I'm not a fan anymore per se because I cover the entire NFL, but I am a fan of the NFL and can talk about any NFL team. In fact, I am going on with Stephen Nageshi. If you're watching, Steven, he actually reached out to me because he's like, hey, man, I see you cover all 32 NFL teams. That's really crazy off the top of your head. We kind of have this thing with, with the Chicago Bears here in Chicago. Would you be willing to hop on our show? And I said, yeah, why not? So I'm doing that. So even though they're your rivals in the NFC North, I can talk about the Packers. I can talk about the Chicago Bears. We can talk about strengths and weaknesses. We can talk about what they should do in the upcoming draft. We can sit here and talk and say, is Jordan Love the answer at backup quarterback, or should they go and kind of get a guy like Russell Wilson or a Jimmy Garoppolo? I'm joking, but kind of not. What are they going to do with Jair Alexander, right? Because he was a first-round pick, and I think out of Louisville, right? Drafted number 18 overall or something like that. And what are they going to do with him? He's due for a big money contract, right? So what are they going to do with Jair Alexander? Obviously, they have other pieces in place like Rashawn Gary, another first-round pick playing at a really high level. And we can talk about Kenny Clark being voted to the Pro Bowl. Nose tackle Kenny Clark. And people talk about Vita Vea all the time with the Tampa Bay Bucks in the NFC South, but not too much love about Kenny Clark. I believe Kenny Clark came out of UCLA, if I'm not mistaken. So he is another guy that I'm really high on and does a really good job. So again, this is off the top of my head. I had no idea I was being rated, but we can talk about all these different teams. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Grand Riser says, did you hear Fred Warner said Trey Lance has been dicing up their first string defense in practice the past couple of weeks? That's good to hear. Yes, I wouldn't be saying dicing up, but I feel like he's progressing, and I heard that he's progressing. Still ways away. Ishi says it was great rating you. Thank you so much. I was scared crapless when you guys all rated me. I'll be honest. That was scary. That was scary for me, but it was good in a good way. Because I've never been rated before. That was my first raid. And Tom Grassi, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Ishi says, take care, everyone. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate the love. Mello says, and mahalo for hopping on this raid. Ryan Sakamoto is crazy good, especially when it comes to analyzing and picking the draft, and he has the receipts to back it up. Yeah. Again, right now, I look at tendencies, I look at biases, I look at GMs. Okay, again, when I form my mock draft, I always select players not based on what I would do if I was the team's GM, but exactly how I see it, how I see the draft playing out. And that comes down to tendencies, biases, obviously analytics play a role, knowing what personnel people come out to see certain teams or certain players, how that's going to be gauged when you watch, the Senior Bowl, when you watch All-Star practices. There's a lot of notes that you have to take, and you can pick up on tendencies just like you can pick up tells and down and distance on what teams like to do based on their scheme. You can pick up on things like this over the course of time, and what you're seeing now is you're seeing my predictions come to fruition, and I've been pretty spot on, and I've been covering the draft since 1998, and I can go back and honestly tell you exactly who they should have drafted, why they should have drafted, why they should have went in a different direction. Now with the salary cap the way it is and rookie deals now being in line, right, in the later half of the last decade or so, and with the collective bargaining agreement in play, that's going to change the landscape of how you can evaluate players. Because again, when you look for a blindside left tackle, you're going to be overpaying for that blindside left tackle, but if you can find one in the draft that you can develop and he can potentially be a Pro Bowl, All-Pro type of player, then you go that route. More times than not. Badass Psycho, thank you, says it left a sub and have a good one. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yes, if you like what we have to offer and like the BEASTwriter family here on YouTube, please give me a thumbs up and hit the sub button. I appreciate. Also turn on the bell notification so you get notified when I go live or when I upload content. You can also do that if you're on YouTube in the lower right hand corner of your screen as you stay up to date on all things Beast in real time. Thank you so much, Badass Psycho. I see you, and hopefully I'll see you more on the live streams as we talk about your favorite NFL team. Again, I can talk about any team you want. Just give me a heads up on the live stream and say, hey, Ryan, I'm tired of you talking about the Tennessee Titans. I'm tired of you talking about the San Francisco 49ers. I want to know about my Green Bay Packers. I want to know about what's going on with the Chicago Bears. Is Ryan Pace going to return? No, he's not. Okay, then who's going to be the next GM? And if that GM comes into place, what's going to happen with Justin Fields? Are they going to bring an offensive coordinator that kind of works with Justin Fields? Obviously, you are, because Justin Fields is the future. You give up all that draft capital, and you don't hold a first-round pick because you gave that up to the New York Giants, and they have 2 top 10 picks in the upcoming draft. Is Dave Gettleman going to be retiring? What are they going to do with Sterling Shepard? For all you New York Giants fans, I said in my Kenny Galladay YouTube live stream or YouTube video, you guys can check that out after watching this podcast or live stream, that I already broke down Kenny Galladay, and I said why they they didn't draft him, why they signed Kenny Galladay from the Detroit Lions, and why I believe that Sterling Shepard, this is his last year because he can't stay healthy. Although he's a really good player coming out of Oklahoma, one of my favorite players, talked to the 49er scouts about it when he came out. It's like, man, I really like that guy. And they're like, yeah, man, he's good. He's going to be good. In my pre-draft analysis, and then cross-check that, and now he's injured again. They have Kadarius Toney there out of Florida, their first-round investment. So you have Kadarius Toney, Kenny Galladay there. And what are you going to do? Is Jones going to be the answer? Or Danny Dimes, let's just say. Danny Dimes going to be the answer. Daniel Jones, is he the answer? Is Saquon Barkley going to be healthy enough coming out of Penn State, being drafted number 2 overall? Is he going to be healthy enough to sustain a full 17-game schedule? Because he can't stay healthy for 2 years now, back-to-back. Do you want to invest that 5th-year option in getting a guy like, 18, 9, 20. They already picked up his 5th-year option, right? Because it was 2018 first-round pick. 18, 19, 20, 21, yeah. So what are you going to do with Saquon Barkley? There's an investment with him. Like, are you going to keep him? Same with the Carolina Panthers. What's going to happen with Matt Rule and Scott Fitter? Are they going to keep Christian McCaffrey? Are they going to get rid of Christian? I mean, we don't know. There's a lot of pieces placed. And then double down on that, if I'm rambling off the top of my head, you have DJ Moore there, but then other pieces, again, what's going to happen with Robbie Anderson? He signed a 2-year deal, if I'm not mistaken, coming from the New York Jets. So what's going to happen with him? What's going to happen with Terrace Marshall? You got him in the 2nd round or 3rd round, I believe, out of LSU. I believe it was the 2nd round. And what are you going to do with him? Is he going to take that wide receiver 2 position? So there's a lot of different things that we can go. And at the end of the day, I can talk about football, and I love talking about football. You know, we can talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers and Kevin Colbert. We can talk about the defensive front 7. We can talk about what their needs off the top of my head. They're going to need a nose tackle because Tyson Alualu, if I'm not mistaken, was delivered a huge blow to the team when he injured his fractured his ankle in friendly fire. And he's now out for the year. So he is up there in age. And now he was not going to be on the team. Remember, he came back on a team-friendly deal. He was actually going back to the Jacksonville Jaguars and then switched his mind, where it all started, coming out of Berkeley. And then switched his mind to come back with the Pittsburgh Steelers, much like wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster did when he was given a contract, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, again, from the Baltimore Ravens, and opted to come back on a cheaper prove-it deal. Now, what's going to happen with James Washington, who requested a trade? Is he going to be returning to the team? No, he's not. 2nd-round pick out of Oklahoma, came along the likes with Mason Rudolph, high school team or college teammates. Number 2. A lot of different things. Again, we can talk about any team, literally any team, right? I just love talking football. Detroit Lions, they have so many holes. What is Brad Holmes going to do, right? What is he going to do? You have Jared Goff there. You invested a lot of draft capital in Jared Goff. Not draft capital, but made a huge investment in Jared Goff. But what are you going to do with him? Now the Niners are going to go for it here on 4th and 1. I believe they're going to go for it because, again, this is a do-or-die ball game. I would go for it because you're playing the Tennessee Titans. I don't know. I think you go for it here. Now, Deebo Samuel has to put a shoe on because, again, you can't be running with a flat tire, as we like to call it in football. He better make sure that shoelace is tight. Tie up those shoelaces, man. Don't want a high ankle sprain. But, yeah, I just love talking football. Here they are. They're using the bear front. And that's wow. George Kittle. False start on George Kittle, number 85. Oh, they called it on Trent Williams, silverback. That's all right, though. It's loud, but hey, man, it is what it is. The Niners are using their throwback uniforms from 1994-95. Again, I think they're going to use this throughout the year. Actually, I don't know if they can, but it's a primetime game. That's why they're wearing it today. I didn't like those black color rush jerseys back in Tom Sula days. Those black and red. I didn't like that. Wow! What are you doing? What are we doing? As Julian Edelman would say on Inside the NFL. By the way, my hat's off to Amanda Guerra, who did a really good job filling in for JB for Inside the NFL. If you guys haven't checked out Amanda Guerra on Inside the NFL here on Paramount Plus, go ahead and do so. She did a really good job filling in and kind of was like Tyler, isn't that Tyler Huntley? Am I pronouncing his last name right? Huntley? Kind of like Tyler Huntley subbing in for Lamar Jackson. No drop off in production, as Ray Lewis would say on Inside the NFL. Holla at your boy. But I like Inside the NFL. For those who don't know, Inside the NFL, I've always loved Inside the NFL. Even becoming NFL media member, always watched Inside the NFL when they had Chris Collinsworth, Phil Simms, dating back to the days when they had Warren Sapp. They had Beat the Insiders, watched it way back when. In fact, I only had HBO at the time because they were on HBO at the time because I liked Inside the NFL. And then once they switched to Showtime, then I got Showtime, and then once I got Paramount Plus, it's like I follow it just because of whatever network they're on. Like, I'm just down to do it. And maybe biased because of CBS. I don't know. I did some work with CBS on CBS Sports Radio Orlando. For those who don't know, had my own segment right after or right before the Jim Rome is burning. Remember Jim Rome? Okay, Chris Everett. It's Jim Everett. Okay, Chris Everett. It's Jim Everett. Oh man, who remembers that? People are like, what are you talking about? Yeah, that's how old I am. All right. The Rays were crazy. Let's go off the I'm a mod in his chat. I promise we come in peace. Get that dub, Niners, a Colts fan. Ray Tom, you did it correctly. Man, look at all the raids. I'm just going to go back to the raids. The raids was ridiculous. Let me just go back to the raids because I want to give them some love. Ishi says, look at your sub count. I get my subs went up, my likes went up, everything went up. It's ridiculous. Braden, this is a good thing. Packer79, chaotic good, helping you, bud. Finn's Doc, Tom Grossi is the one that helped you. Dragonfire, we've been raiding tons of people. We come in peace. Stevens Defense Academy, LLC. Hazards BOG says 2.4K subs now. Thank you so much. I appreciate the love. Yeah, we love you. Good luck. Good luck, brother. Donald Bryan, thank you so much. You have a great smile. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Planting Seeds Productions says peace. Lots of hearts from Green Bay Packers fans. Philip Landon. Demario Davis is very under. Yes, we were talking about Demario Davis. Yes. This is legit. Merry Christmas, RJL. Thank you so much. Ian Hurley. Good luck in the second half, and Kittle gonna make some receptions for me. We're Packers fans who like to share the love. That is awesome. I love Packers fans. I love talking Packers fans. He's naming all the 90s Packers. I love it. Yeah, I can talk about any team. Literally, I can talk about any team. And what I mean by that, I can talk about the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, we can go down the list. We can talk about, I've been watching it since I was a kid. And just like all of you guys, I had no idea what I was looking at. Like, I just watched a game. I just love the game of football. And I learned to study the game. I remember having a notebook, and I would just write notes down. And I'd done that ever since as a kid, and I still continue doing that because you kind of learn different things. Here we are talking about missed tackles. This is going to be called back. I think this is a holding penalty. But we have certain things that you need to look for when you watch a game. And that's what we have going on. So we have a holding penalty now on Bosa. It's funny how some people say Bosa. But yeah, we can talk about 90s Packers. We can talk about, like Leroy Butler, Mark Shamura. Who else was that killed the freaking 49ers during the Brett Favre days? My gosh. I remember was it 1998 that Steve Mariucci came to San Francisco? Or was it 1996? I think it was 1996. I think it was 1996. Yeah. I think so. Because I remember my PE teacher was talking about it, Mr. Tognolini, and he was my 6th grade PE teacher. And I vividly remember this. and he was talking about it on the, it sounds like Mercury News reported it. And I'm like, what? I was like, wait, what? Yeah, Steve Mariucci, the Cal coach, is now the Cal coach. I'm like, oh, he worked in Green Bay. I was like, what? He did? And I was looking at that, and I thought that was interesting. Yeah, he worked with Holmgren. I really wanted Mike Holmgren in San Francisco, I have to say. And what's funny, I have a story about that. I went to San Diego State, and one of my really good friends, Jessica Stevens, was a neighbor of Mike Holmgren when I got to college, and we were watching that Seattle Super Bowl. And at the time, I had no affinity. Like, I didn't care. But I was like, hey, that'd be cool to see Mike Holmgren get a Super Bowl. And that's what you do against Ambry Thomas. You throw it up against Ambry freaking Thomas. What did I say? Ambry Thomas, you throw it up against him, and it's all day, every day. This is what they should have been doing all day. What I say about Ambry Thomas, just go ahead and attack him. From the numbers to the boundary, you'll beat him. Check off another beast receipt. Look how he plays this. Look, you're supposed to use the sideline as an extra defender, squeeze him to the boundary. Instead, you play the ball, not losing sight of your man. And then once the ball's in the air, you give him a free release and you don't even try to climb the ladder. These are fundamental mistakes. Ambry Thomas can single-handedly lose this game. Holla at your boy. I'm telling you. What did I say? Literally, what did I say? Anyways, I'm upset because obviously I'm biased. Even though I'm not a Niner fan anymore, I'm still biased toward the Niners. But for all you Packers fans, I love talking about the Packers. I can talk about any team. But since we have a lot of Packers fans here, we can talk about the Packers. He says, go Pack, go. Yeah. One guy, there's, again, Reggie White. We can talk about Reggie White. We can talk about Santana Dotson. You guys remember Santana Dotson? For those who don't know, Santana Dotson, that guy was a freaking hog in the middle of the defense or offense. I think he played defense. Santana Dotson. No, was he offense? He might have been offense. Santana Dotson was offense, right? And then remember Gabe Wilkins? Gabe Wilkins was a defensive end, a free agent signing that the San Francisco 49ers got, hoping that he would be that guy. And then he wasn't that guy, and Gabe Wilkins just basically stole money, number 98, from the San Francisco 49ers, much like Antonio Langham did, coming from what it was, the Cleveland Browns at the time. They're like, yeah, Antonio Langham's going to be good. And I was like, oh, yeah, I like Antonio. No. And then they tried the experiment with Mark McMillan from the Kansas City Chiefs, I believe, called Mighty Mouse. He was only 5'8", 5'9", number 29. He would always flex his guns or lack thereof. And hey, I got stories about Mark McMillan from that coaching staff on the Niners during that time. They had Darnell Walker. But no, the Green Bay Packers, yeah, Santana Dotson, I remember him. He was a guy, Frank Winters, I think he was the center, number 52, if I'm not mistaken. I'm good. I think I'm good with jersey numbers. Let's see, who else we got here. Obviously, Robert Brooks was good. I think he was number, I want to say he was, Sterling Sharp was number 84. He was a beast. Mark Shimura was number 89. Antonio Freeman was number 86. Robert Brooks was number 87. I remember. Yeah. We can talk about Dorsey Levens, number 25. He was a big back. Amon Green, number 30. Didn't he come over from the Seattle Seahawks and Mike Holmgren kind of brought him over? Or vice versa? Or did he go to the Seattle Seahawks for vice versa? It was a long time ago. Free play and picked up on Ambry. Yo, Beast, we should put in Lance right now. Hayden Haig says, happy holidays, man. Have a good night. Thank you so much, Hayden Hong. I appreciate it. And thank you so much for the love and support. I wouldn't be here without you. And mahalo and happy holidays to you and your family as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Scrimmage says, Frank Bag of Donuts Winters was Packers center. Yes. Frank Bag of Donuts Winters. We have a lot of, I love Packers fans. Hey, if you're a Packer fan, do me a favor and give me a thumbs up, and then also share this to your family and friends if you guys are watching this during the holiday season from the comfort of your respective homes. It's awesome. I love talking Packer football. I like the Green Bay Packers. Go Pack Go. I have no ill will toward any NFL team, and that includes the Seattle Seahawks. I can talk about the Seahawks. We can talk about any team, and there's Contavious Street getting some play right now, and he's saying, yeah, play me, stop the hate. I get it. But yeah, Green Bay Packers, off the top of my head, we can talk about the current state of the Packers. We can go back into the early 90s covering the Green Bay Packers. And a lot of teams, man, Green Bay Packers always had the 49ers number, man. Always had the 49ers number. I look at the linebackers. Who was that one linebacker that always gave him fits? Gosh, he had, I'm drawing a blank here. But yeah, Reggie White, Gabe Wilkins, obviously Santana Dotson. I like that name, Santana Dotson. I just like saying Santana Dotson. Santana Dotson. I think he was number 72, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. If he was offensive line, I think 70. I don't know. I think Santana Dotson was an offensive lineman. Obviously, we got Kenny Clark now, or you guys got Kenny Clark out of UCLA. He's a beast. He's so underrated. And Vita V may get the pub, but hey, man, Kenny Clark is a monster. Kenny Clark is an absolute monster in the run game, kind of like DJ Jones is in that 4-3 defensive end position. Obviously, Kenny Clark plays in the reverse in a 34 base role as the team's nose tackle or nose guard. All right, tie ball game. And let me just look at, you know what? It's driving me crazy. Oh, who'd you attack? Josh Norman, holla at your boy. Where you at? Do the stinky leg. Just joking. Do the stinky leg. Wow. What is going on here? What are we doing? What are we doing? All right, let's look at the coverage here. That's Josh Norman. See, Josh Norman gave him a free inside release. See, you can't do that. That was just a skinny post. What you saw there with A.J. Brown, he ran a skinny post, and Josh Norman was so afraid of getting beat deep that he played with a sizable cushion there. What you saw there was that sizable cushion. He didn't give a jam off the line of scrimmage. And not only that, but as A.J. Brown was running that skinny post, because once he flew off that stem, it was already too late because Josh Norman was already in a trail position, giving it that inside free release. That was just an easy touchdown. And what I saw there was, again, you saw Josh Norman being scared. And I talked about this on Twitter on earlier live streams, that you can't do that. You can't give the wide receiver a free release off the line of scrimmage. And if you do, you got to be mindful that once he eats up that cushion, that you stay on the hip of the receiver in a trail position, or based on if you're playing inside or outside leverage, depending on how you're playing your splits, and not allow the receiver to just gain whatever momentum off that leverage that you're allowing him to get. And again, when you play with a bigger receiver like A.J. Brown, it's a game of catch me if you can on the back end, because all the quarterback has to do is throw it to a spot, and A.J. Brown can just box out the smaller defensive back. How you want to play that is you want to play it up tight. If you're going to give that free release, inside release, and not use the sideline not squeeze the wide receiver to the boundary as an extra defender, you got to be mindful of your knowing where your help is. And that's where the disconnect is on the back end, because you saw Josh Norman, if he's playing with outside leverage, giving that skinny post release and not giving a chip at the line of scrimmage or in the bump and run coverage and being in the trail mode, you have to be mindful that that safety, who is your help, playing the two deep safety look, is going to be in position to where he can take away that inside release once he breaks off his stem and in position to catch the ball so he can make a play on the ball. Unfortunately, that didn't pan out. And I don't know. I have to watch the coach's film. All I can see was the vantage point was what the broadcast gave me right now, but I'll get the coach's film. But to me, that was not a smart play by Josh Norman, because that was too easy. I could run that route and get open on there because I was given a free release off the line of scrimmage. I'm stronger than Josh Norman, right? So once he gives me a free release, all you have to do is throw to a spot. I can box you out with my body, and it's game over. You didn't get anything going. Like, you just let him run right past you on that skinny post, and once he broke off a stem, it was too late. And you can't do that. Either you're going to use the sideline as an extra defender, squeeze that wide receiver to the boundary, or if you're playing with outside leverage, you got to know where your help is at all times and make sure that that deep safety, who's playing his respective quarters coverage, is not in a mode or in a position where Fuga's going to be ran with that tight end or whoever running down that seam, that he's going to take that guy up. Because if he takes that guy up, being in that quarters coverage zone coverage, that's your responsibility to make a play on the football. I don't know. Scrimmage says Santana Dotson was a Packer on defense and he signed a jersey. Oh, that's awesome. Wasn't he number 72? If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Santana Dotson number 72? I liked him. I like that name, Santana Dotson. Screw says, yikes, Titans working up now. Yeah, they are. Mello says, I am seriously at a loss for words on what's going on right now with the Niners. Look, you attack Ambry Thomas. Look, Ambry Thomas did the same thing. Why are you looking back at the football? You should be playing man, then ball. That's fundamentals. That comes down to fundamentals. You don't play the ball, then man, because you don't know where your man is. Duh. This is called fundamentals. You play the man, then the ball. Hello? I feel like Herm Edwards. We're here to win the game. You play to win the game. Hello? Fundamentals. Find man, then ball. What you gotta do? Let me just fix my mic here because I need better audio, guys. This is really bad. Better audio here. Hopefully the audio is a little bit better here. If it craps out, it craps out. But let me know. We have my man, what's up, G? Let me know that the audio is back on. Najee Ripkel says AJ Brown unmatched tonight. Hey, that's something that I pointed out in my broadcast earlier. I said you attack Ambry Thomas from the numbers to the boundaries because that's your best bet. And here they are, up 17-10. The Titans must be on this BEASTwriter live show. I'm joking. Let's not play around. Okay, cool story, bro. But no, this is what you have to do to beat them, right? Now, how do the 49ers come back on this, right? Well, the momentum shift has clearly shifted toward the Tennessee Titans, but there's still a lot of football left. The Niners need to take this one play at a time because they're clearly the better team. I'm not in the panic mode if I'm the San Francisco 49ers. I'm not in the panic mode because we are the better team. I would take my team aside. I would take the Niners aside. Hey, look. Okay, so what? They scored. We're not down. I mean, we're not down and out, right? We're just going to use Deebo Samuel, just get him involved in the offense, and we'll be off and running. All right? So I'm not concerned because the better football, again, football is a game of quarters, right? 4 quarters. You have to play all 4 quarters to win. Ultimately, the better team will win in the end, or should theoretically win in the end, and that's the San Francisco 49ers. As long as Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't do anything stupid and lives to play another down. All right, this looks like a holding penalty. This looks like a holding. This is coming back. This is coming back on the Niners. Hockley's like, holding. I feel like I want to be a ref too. Holding. Offense. Number 50. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down. But I don't know how comfortable I would be in wearing a t-shirt. For those who don't know, I don't like wearing t-shirts, but I do. Sometimes. Rarely do I wear t-shirts, actually. I just don't like wearing t-shirts. I feel restricted. Especially like when I work out. Oh, he's number 71. I said it was number 72. I got it wrong. I thought it was 72. Beast receipt, check. Got it wrong. All right. That's a nice play by Bud Dupree, the Pittsburgh Steelers, or former Pittsburgh Steeler linebacker drafted in the first round, I believe number 22 overall. He picks up a sack. He's having a down season this year. He's been injured, banged up. But again, what you saw with Bud Dupree, if you follow me on Twitter or on YouTube, you would know that he is an edge rushing presence, and he wins with speed. You'll see this. He just beats Trent Williams, and this is just a tackle and stunt here. You're going to see a tackle and stunt here, which means that the defensive tackle is going to take on the defensive end, free up the edge defender. He's going to creep inside, and you just saw a simple stunt there, and he won the leverage game, getting inside leverage. All right, here's Jeffrey Simmons. Make no mistake about it. Number 98 is a monster. They double team him, and he's just really good there. Jawan Jennings, oh, that's just a nice play there, and they're not getting any type of movement. This is one of those things where Don't be. If you're a Niner fan, hey, calm down. It's okay. I know 49ers fans like, what the what's going on here? Hey, it's still early. Do not hit the panic button. If Jimmy Garoppolo throws an interception, then I'll be panicking. If he throws a dumb play, doesn't live to play another down on 3rd and 21, then we should panic. If it's 3rd and 21 and he doesn't live to play another down, loses field position in a 1-possession game. This is where I would panic because, again, you're not even in your own territory. You're not even in the opponent's territory. Just let you play another down, throw the ball away. Let's see if he does. Kyle Shanahan was not going to allow Jimmy Garoppolo to lose the game on this play, so he just checks it down to Deebo Samuel. I think Kyle Shanahan's going to go for it here. And he doesn't have trust in Jimmy Garoppolo to go for it on 4th and 9. If it was me, I think this is the right decision. Although I thought Kyle Shanahan, because of his ego, would go for it on fourth down. He does not. He has Mitch Wishnowsky out there, and they're going to be punting the ball. And again, who knows? This could be a muffed punt. This could be a muffed punt. I'm not scared. I think I'm being a little bit biased here, but I'm not scared. I'm actually kind of scared, as you can see. Oh, look at that. What a nice play by Trent Sherfield to down it inside the 5-yard line, pitting the Titans with a horrible starting field position down inside the 5. What a nice play. How come the announcers don't talk about this? They should be hyping that play up because that's basically a drive killer. I mean, you start your drive inside the own 5. What's the analytics on that and going the distance or having it end up in a scoring drive? I don't know. What's the percentage on that? 36%? 33%? Why aren't they talking about that? Oh, they had to go to commercial. I like talking about the Pack. I'm going to look up the Packers. Travis Jervey was another guy who I always loved. I liked Travis Jervey. I don't know why I like Travis Jervey. Maybe because he was small and was a good return man, good special teams ace. But the Packers were always a team that always, gosh damn it. It's like the Packers. We have to play the Packers. That's an auto loss for the San Francisco 49ers. But if you look up the 1998 football team, I'm just going to look it up. Or 1997. Yeah, Ron Wolf. Ron Wolf was the GM. That's how back we're going. Ron Wolf was the GM. Darren Sharper. Here we go. Yes, I remember Darren Sharper, the ball hawk, number 42. He was awesome at one point. You have actually at one point, isn't he like doesn't he rank like up there in NFL interceptions in history? But let's look at it. Steve Bono. I didn't know Steve Bono was on the Green Bay Packers in 1997. He was the backup quarterback for many years in San Francisco. Brett Favre. Doug Peterson was on the Green Bay Packers in 1997. Now he's Doug Peterson was the coach of the Philadelphia Eagles last year before he got fired. And now Nick Sirianni came in. But let's look at who they have at offensive line. Joe Andruzzi. Earl Dotson, 72. Earl Dotson was 72. Oh, that's right. That Earl Dotson and Santana Dotson. I got them mixed up. Earl Dotson was number 72, and I was right, but I was thinking Santana Dotson, and I got them mixed up. 2 Dotsons, both on the defensive line. No wonder. But, yeah, Earl Dotson was 72. Santana Dotson was 71. You were right. Ross Verba. Oh, I remember Ross Verba. Frank Winters, we already talked about him, number 52. Gilbert Brown, the guy with the freaking face mask and the visor, the black visor. He was a freaking gap eater and a half. Gilbert Brown, the immovable wall. Santana Dotson, obviously. Reggie White. Gabe Wilkins, number 98. We talked about that guy, how he stole money from the Niners. I think he came to the Niners in 1998, if I'm not mistaken. I have to look at that. Seth Joyner was a good linebacker. All right, here we go to the game. I just like looking up football history. All right. Here we go. Again, let's just attack Josh Norman because it's the easiest thing to do. What did I say? I said they shouldn't run the ball. They should just pass the ball. Take your chances there. Steve Rotondo from Facebook. Hey, do yourself a favor. Subscribe to me on YouTube, man. It would really do me a favor. We can't cover on the outside. Going to be a real problem if we make the playoffs. Hey, this is something I pointed out before the season began. I knew it. I saw it, and here we are today. Mello says, I'm too old to get emotional anymore and throw fits of rage. Now I just accept what happens. Yeah. Doug Peterson was Favre's backup and best hunting buddy in Wisconsin. I did not know that. I know that. That's good information. That means they had a good working relationship as well if they're hunting outside of football, because that means Brett Favre was actually teaching them things. Unlike Aaron Rodgers. No, I'm joking. All right. Well, DJ Jones is back in the game, and that's why. That's what he brings to the table. DJ Jones, just like Kenny Clark, just like Vita Vea, is just as important in the middle and heart and soul of the defense as an interior defensive lineman. You see him just swim his way, and that's called a swim move. Anytime you see a defensive lineman go like this, that's usually a swim move. Usually based on where the defensive lineman is lined up, we would call that, well, there's different terms, but I would call it a backdoor. Basically, what you're doing is you're kind of going backdoor on what the offensive lineman is thinking. He's thinking you're going one way, you swim over and go the other way. You just got to make sure you make a play. Aaron Donald does that a lot with the backdoor swim move. Wow. So if that's Anthony Ferkser, which it is, Turan Davenport, my man, TD, we used to cover the 49ers for Golden Gate Sports, now part of the Fansided Network. Back in our early careers, he's now a beat writer with the ESPN Tennessee Titans now. He was on the show. He said Anthony Ferkser has sure hands as anyone he has seen, and he was not scared that Jonnu Smith would go on to the New England Patriots. If you want to catch that YouTube live stream, you guys can go ahead and do that. Just Google BEASTwriter Tennessee Titans Turan Davenport. It's in there. Giving my man Turan Davenport some love. Also follow him on Twitter. He's verified just like myself. All right. Make sure you look for the blue check mark because that matters, because there's a lot of trolls out there that have a lot of fake profiles and it's really ridiculous. Phil Hurt says, I can't see the game right now, but how much our usual pathetic often falls asleep on a loser lay. The defense is already sleeping in the same. There will be 8 to 7 in a few minutes. Just watch as usual. Phil Hurts. I'll tell you what's going on, man. So it's 10-17. The Tennessee Titans, about 6:17 left in the fourth quarter. I'm stuttering. Sorry. 2nd and 6. And they are on their own 40-yard line. So they're just going to be throwing the ball because what's happening is the 49ers are playing what's called a soft cover shell. And anytime you run the soft cover shell, you're doing yourself a disservice. And Jimmy Ward almost picked up the ball on a trick play. What you saw there was you saw the wide receiver, A.J. Brown, getting a reverse or an end around, however you want to call it. Basically a handoff. He was coming the other direction. And that was a designed run or pass play. So kind of like an RPO in itself. And he just forced the ball downfield. And obviously that's why you don't do those things, because obviously the wide receiver was not in a position to catch the ball. Jimmy Ward broke on the ball and it should have been an interception and a game-changing play, but ultimately fell incomplete. All right. This looks like it's going to be a holding penalty. It should be declined. And I think this penalty will be declined, but we don't know yet what's going on. It looks like it's going to be on the Tennessee Titans. I'm not scared. So that's Jeremy McNichols, the running back, holding on Aziz Al-Shire, or Shire, however you want to play it. But he's playing with a sprained elbow, and I don't think that's good for the team. But hey, it is what it is. The pass rush has been so diminished since... All right, here we go. Mello, do you think Kyle Shanahan's excuse is going to be the short turnaround if the 49ers lose? I don't know. I don't think you can make any excuses in the NFL. I think when you do that, you're deflecting the real issues. I think any GM, any head coach, anyone who is considered the face of the franchise or one of the faces of the franchise, you just got to take ownership, not make excuses. Anytime you make an excuse, you're doing yourself a disservice. I would just be a man, take ownership for whatever the outcome is, because let's face it, both teams are on the same wavelength. And this was a play, I believe Brandon Ayuk played it smart. It was downed inside the 5-yard line, but again, we talked about fundamentals. And if it was anywhere before the 10-yard line, you want to field that punt. But if it falls anywhere 10 yards and behind you, you want to let that ball bounce and just play devil's advocate. If it rolls into the end zone for a touchback, cool story. If it doesn't, a nice play by the Tennessee Titans. You never want to be in that gray area where you're kind of playing that guessing game, and then all of a sudden you lose concentration or focus on the football as it's coming down, and whether or not to make a play on the ball, and then that can cause even bigger issues. So nice play by Brandon Ayuk on the back end there, just letting the ball bounce as it should. All right, so here we go. We can talk anything. Jason Soul says, you going far? As in, like, are we going far, or what's the team going far? I don't know. I don't know, man. it's going to be interesting. But the Tennessee Titans have the ball. I mean, sorry, the San Francisco 49ers have the ball. Jimmy Garoppolo, I have faith in him that he'll lead this drive. What you're going to see, especially down inside the 5, what the 49ers like to do. Again, if you're a Niner fan, you see this all the time, but I'm just going to point it out if you guys don't see it. Usually what they like to do is they'll have Kyle Juszczyk lined up in the backfield to start this drive. And don't give it away, you're going to jinx it. And what they like to do on the very first play from line of scrimmage inside their own 5-yard line is they like to run the football between the tackles. They don't like to run the outside zone because they're giving up a lot of real estate depending on where the hash mark is. So you're going to see a lot of between the tackle stuff on the first play from scrimmage. So you'll see Kyle Juszczyk lined up in the backfield. I don't think they're going to spread him out wide. I think what you're going to see is you're going to see 21 personnel for them to start off with, which is 2 running backs, 1 tight end. I think Kyle Juszczyk is going to be the lead blocker, and they're just going to plow their way inside between the guard and the center, or the guard and the tackle between the tackles. I don't think they're going to stretch it outside zone, and they're going to try to pick up 2 to 3 yards right up the gut. We're going to see what they do on the first play. But I mean, based on my game grades, based on the coaches' film, based on what I talked to a lot of different people and cross-checking, but this is all common sense. This is what you do. You watch coaches' film, and you kind of pick up on tendencies based on down and distance, based on where they're lined up, based on the positional score. Score is obviously a one-possession ball game. How the game is playing out. Every game is different. It has its own identity. So to say one thing is going to be one as opposed to the next, it's not necessarily work that way. A lot of it has to come down to gut as well. So if I was the Tennessee Titans, I would sell out on the run. Okay, so they do have Kyle Juszczyk. They line him out wide, and they're going to throw. They're going to do something totally different. So all that stuff I said, and they go to Kyle Juszczyk on the first play. All right, they go to Kyle Juszczyk on the first play. I knew he was going to be in. I just didn't know where they were going to line him up. Usually they go run, but now they freaking line him out wide. Now they take him out. Why would you take out? Why would you take out Kyle Juszczyk? He just had a good play for you. Wow. Okay, so with less than 5 minutes left in this ball game, the Tennessee Titans are up 17-10 in a one-possession ball game. They're starting now on the 20-yard line to start a fresh new set of downs. 1st and 10, San Francisco. They're going to run this, and this is looking like it's going to be a nice pass play up to the right. And again, that's a bad play by Jimmy Garoppolo because he never gave the right wide receiver any real estate to work with. He threw the ball late. He was slow to diagnose that pass play. And although he threw it out of bounds, I have to watch the coach's film, but I believe there was someone open down the seams based on that cover shell that the Tennessee Titans were running. Again, I can't see it, the vantage point of coach's film yet, but you can kind of pick up on things based on what that strong safety or free safety line up pre-snap to post-snap. All right, so you see this right now. So this is going to be 7-man in the box. This looks like a quarters coverage. They're backing up. Nope, they bring up the safety, and that was just quarters coverage, right? Or not quarters coverage. That was a cover 3. You saw that safety come back and play that curl hook defender right there. I wish they showed that vantage point, but they're going to show the Rashaan Evans forced fumble instead. And wow, that's interesting. Thank you so much, Jamie Engel. I appreciate the love and support. Are you a Packers fan? I like the green and yellow. I do like. We can talk Green Bay Packers because I love talking about the Packers and every NFL team. Go Pack, go! I am not biased toward any one team, even though I have a 49ers hat on or beanie on. All right, here we go. Harold Landry, who's a nice play by JaMycal Hasty, and he fumbles. Look, if the 49ers don't, I would literally stop play. I would almost call a timeout right now and talk about ball security. Because you saw in back-to-back plays, you saw Deebo Samuel fumble the ball, and then you saw JaMycal Hasty fumble the ball out of bounds. That's a fumble, guys. That counts as a fumble because he was still in bounds when he fumbled the football, even the ball rolled out of bounds. What you saw there was you saw 2 back-to-back plays where ball security has been an issue. I would call a timeout because if the Titans get the ball back, there's going to be less, and they get a field goal where they're at on their own territory, or on the opponent's territory, I should say. That's not going to be a good look, and there'll be a 2-possession ball game, not enough time for Jimmy Garoppolo to come back and win. And see, what you're seeing right now is you're seeing an erratic football team on now 3 plays. I don't know. I know Well, they don't have any timeouts, huh? It looks like the Niners don't have any timeouts left. Just joking. So you can't do anything right now because they're out of timeouts. Wow. All right, so Deebo Samuel made a huge play here. Is it a touchdown or a big play? Inside the 5. Wow, so they're going to score. Scrimmage says TikTok, time to tie it up. Wow. There you go. All right, so that's good. So good play by Deebo Samuel. He's basically a one-man show. He looks like he's hurt, but I don't think he's hurt. I just think he's winded. I don't think Deebo Samuel's hurt. He's going to be fine. He's just winded off this long run because it took up a lot out of him, and I think he understands that. Like, he's tired. He's been a one-man wrecking crew today, and I think that's what happens. Players do that, you know. They need a timeout, so they force their own timeout by. I'm not saying he's faking the injury, but I've done it. I've done it a few times, faked injury, and it's after a long run, and be like, yeah, we need a timeout, man. I'm just gonna fake this injury right now because I want to be healthy for red zone efficiency. Now he could be hurt. He could have got the wind knocked out of him, but I just think he's gassed. And you can see. I really think he's okay. If he's injured, he can't come in the game. That's a different story. But I honestly think, I'm not saying he's faking the injury, and he's just winded from that play. But I mean, I've done it. I've been guilty of doing it after a long run like that because I want to score that touchdown. I need to make my money, bro. So I know you need me because I'm a one-man show. Mello says, where would the 49ers be without Deebo Samuel? Yeah, I don't know. Definitely not 8-6. They'd probably be 6-8. I think single-handedly he kept the team in the game. Now Deebo Samuel will probably, trust me, I think he's going to be out for one play and then he's going to be back in on the next play. That's my thinking. What's up, G says, Deebo lipped, I can't breathe. Yeah, because he's probably out of breath from that long run. I think he's fine. I think he's going to go in on the next play after this one. Obviously, when you get injured, you have to come out of play, and he's going to come back in on the very next play. If they don't score a touchdown. I just have a gut feeling on that. I don't think he's going to take another play off. That's just me, though. If he got the wind knocked out of him and the ball fell on top of him, then, yeah, that's a different story. Then he really got the wind knocked out of him. But, I mean, who are you going to go to? Go to George Kittle here. All right, so just run it down the middle. Oh, maybe he is hurt. I think he did get the wind knocked out of it. Maybe he is really hurt. I would say he's really hurt now. So I was wrong. I thought, players do that. Players do that. Once they hit a long run, they'll fake their injury to call their own timeout. But I think Deebo Samuel, now that he's not in on this play, I think he really is injured. Got the wind knocked out of him, probably. Probably landed on the football. Oh, he's open. George Kittle. Or Brandon Ayuk. Whoever's coming. Okay, kicking the ball. Nice. So would you go for 2 points? Do you chase points? Do you chase points now? Brandon Ayuk is open on that shallow dig. Or not shallow dig, but that drag route. And what happened was there was confusion there because you had trips formation there. And that's what happens. You run a lot of fuga because when you run trips formation with Trent Sherfield and Brandon Ayuk, and I can't see who the other wide receiver is, to the left, you really have to have a ROE, rules of engagement, on the back end on how you want to play it. And that's why every defensive coach, especially with the defensive backs coach, that's what they have to practice and preach, is they really need to practice certain things where, hey, look, we're in trips formation. Even though we're playing a zone coverage or a man-to-man coverage, if they're running a rub route and that outside receiver is running inside, then you take on, and then the outside boundary cornerback or whoever's on the outside has to take on whoever's running that rub to that post or to that corner route. And here you see trips formation. Joanne Jennings, Trent Sherfield, Brandon Ayuk. And again, you have to know the rules of engagement. So on this one, that was number 31's responsibility. Even though they're putting it on That's not that wasn't that. I don't know why they circled the wrong guy. Okay, Greg Olsen circled the wrong guy. That wasn't his responsibility because that was strictly man coverage on that side of the field. So when you saw that, even though he circled the wrong guy, he thought that guy was playing zone coverage. If that was the fact, then he would be dropping back, but it wasn't. It was man coverage on that side with that trips formation to the left. So he circled the wrong guy. The guy that was circled was actually taking on the right responsibility. It was that cornerback who was outside, who was in what I consider no man's land. That was his responsibility to take on Brandon Ayuk, who ran that drag route. All right, here's your return. Let's get a fumble. Oh, did I say that out loud? This game is crazy. I wasn't expecting to do a 3-hour live stream, but here we are today. And I'm kind of getting hungry now because I haven't eaten 3 hours. I just noticed that. But it's all good. It's all good here in the BEASTwriter family. And again, a lot of stuff to talk about. All right. What's up, G? Do not give me the answers before it pops up. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, so it's a 17-17 ball game. 2 minutes left in the fourth. This is going to hit the 2-minute drill. 25 career gaming winning drives in the fourth quarter in overtime. The last was week 8 at Indianapolis. All right, so this is what you got to do, all right? If you're the Indianapolis, why I keep bringing up, I cover too many teams. If you're the Tennessee Titans, what you want to do is you want to continue force feeding the ball downfield. Make sure you have good pass protection and they can hold up. What you're seeing now what they should have done in the entire first half, which is attack Ambry Thomas and those boundary cornerbacks, Josh Norman on the other side. When you do that, you're playing a game of strength versus weakness. You have Julio Jones and A.J. Brown. Why not use them to your advantage? That's my thinking. It doesn't make sense when you wouldn't do that. So that's why I say you always want to do that. You always want to take advantage of other teams' weaknesses, amplify your strengths. And why'd you get Julio Jones if you weren't going to do that with Derrick Henry out? Why would you do that? I mean, you have A.J. Brown, Julio. I mean, Anthony Firkser there running down the seams. Sure-handed tight end. Takes away that curl hook defender. I don't know. You have Westbrook in. He can run those shallow drags just like how you use Joanne Jennings sometimes when you end up in trips formation. Come on, man. It's not rocket scientist, or is it? I don't know. If that was easy, then why don't you an offensive coordinator? Hey, man, I just call it how I see it. Mello says, win or lose, I'm looking forward to all those who are asking for trade, knowing that it's not going to happen. Now, I will say this. Now, I was the first one to say this, and I'll say it again. Actually, I'm not sure if I'm the first. I'm one of the first. But I said they're saving Trey Lance because Kyle Shanahan wants to save him for a playoff run. He's not showing his cards. He's going to use them in the playoffs. Look, if you have Trey Lance inserted in situational football in a deep playoff run, just on certain downs, I'm not saying to play and be the starter. I'm just saying in situational football, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3, 4th and 1, goal line. This is where you insert Trey Lance because there's not much body of work to work off of from the regular season. There's only so much film you can go off of, so you don't know how sub packages are going to be used with Kyle Juszczyk, Trey Lance in the same backfield. When you do that in the playoffs, now everything's dissected because, yeah, you're focused on a win game now, today, but if there's less film to go off of, you have to play a game of, oh shit, what's going to happen? Literally, you have to go into it like, we have to account for everything. It can be a zone read, which 95% of the time it probably will be, but you also got to worry about the orbit motions, right? Orbit motions is a wide receiver pre-snap coming across the formation on the other side in an orbit. Now, if I'm the Niners, I'm gonna need a Peanut Tillman punch right now. I'm gonna need a Peanut Tillman punch. All right, Josh Norman, you're not doing it right now. You already gave up a touchdown. You need to redeem yourself with a Peanut Tillman punch. Give the 49ers back the football. And they go Anthony Firkser down the seams. Here you go. What I say, you have Marcel Harris there, a converted safety, now a linebacker. What's going to happen with Tarvarius Moore? We don't know. Anyways, here's Ambry Thomas outside the number. I'm attacking Ambry Thomas, man. What the hell? Ooh, that could be a pass interference penalty on Marcel Harris. Again, converted safety to a linebacker. No surprise here. This is just easy. Easy. And the 49ers defense is gassed. You see Eric Armstead with his hands on his hip. You see Marcel Harris with his hands on his hip. And again, you can't do that as a defensive back. Anytime you're playing the football, you can't have your offhand wrapping the wide receiver, impeding his progress to make a play on the football. What you want to do is you can hide it. What are you doing? You're cheating. No, you can hide it. How do you hide it? Well, there's certain things that the refs can't see if you're the back judge. You just got to know the angle that he's lined up at. All right, here we go. Slide. Wow. And no timeouts left. All right, guys, so this is not good. Oh, they do have 3 timeouts. See, how come for me it looked like they had 0 timeouts, but they took the first timeout, which is good. What you're going to see now is you're going to see all runs. You're going to force the 49ers to use all their timeouts and just kick a field goal. I don't care if they're stacking the box. Now, it's different if it's one-on-one matched up outside. If you see Jimmy Ward climb up or vice versa, Tawasi Tart, and they're lined up outside and it's maybe 3rd and short, do you want to take the risk of having the ball drop out of bounds if it's an incomplete pass? No, because at the end of the day, you're playing the clock. The clock is your friend right now. And with the Niners, the clock is their enemy. So you want to apply the pressure where you can. This is where situational football comes into play. So this should be a run all 3 downs. The question is, if they don't stop the run and conceding 3 or 4 yard gains, that can be a problem. That can be a problem because if they get a first down, this game is over. But that's what I'm doing. I'm running the ball. If I'm Mike Vrabel, I'm running the ball consistently. I don't care if they have 9. I don't care if they have 11 in the box. Well, I'm joking, obviously, because you got to take advantage of that situation. But again, what aggressive teams would do if you had the personnel to do it is you can run play action. Now, is it risky? Yes, because it would take you out of field goal range potentially, right? You can get an 8 to 10 yard sack, and now it makes that field goal a 37-yard field goal, now a 47-yard field goal. But, hey, you can do a lot of window shopping. You can run a naked bootleg, roll out your quarterback with Ryan Tannehill, a former wide receiver from Texas A&M, right? Drafted by the Miami Dolphins. That's what they like to use him as. So you can do a lot of different things, scheme it up if you want to play it aggressive, but I wouldn't. I would just run the ball. Very smart play by Mike Vrabel, being conservative, but yet not giving the 49ers any more advantage as far as the play clock is concerned. You want to make sure that they use up all their timeouts, so when they have the ball after you potentially kick this potentially game-winning field goal, it leaves them with little to no time. Now what you're doing on defense is you're putting your defense in a very favorable position, because what you're teaching your defensive backs is now you're playing with outside leverage. You're playing without. We talked about inside leverage. I'm foreshadowing some things here, but I just want to talk to you guys about it because no one's talking about it right now on NFL Network. You want to play and teach your cornerbacks right now and your secondary players or boundary player, whatever, your defensive front 7 players, everybody needs to be on the same page and say, hey, we're playing everything with outside leverage. We're not going to give up the sideline. They want to run to the sideline, so we're just going to play with outside leverage because the clock is their enemy and the clock is our friend. So what we're doing after we kick this game-winning field goal or potential game-winning field goal is we're playing our boundary cornerbacks with outside leverage. We will concede numbers to the hashes, right? We will concede those plays as long as we keep everything in front of us. Now, you don't want to play... Now, it's a twofold question. Now, you don't want to play with soft coverage. Soft coverage means... Yes, you want to play quarters coverage. That's soft coverage in itself. But you don't want to play so far off where you're just conceding 8-9 yard receptions 3, 4, 5 yards, 3, 4, 5 seconds every single, because then by that time, all those chunk of yards add up. So you kind of want to mirror and match. If I was a defensive coordinator, I would play soft coverage, not soft coverage, I'd play quarters coverage, but kind of mix and match. This is where situational football is so crucial. But that's what I would do, right? That's what I would do. And with 8 seconds left, there's still time on the clock. But again, you want to teach your defense right now in situational football where games are won down in the trenches. Be mindful that, hey, we don't want any penalties, right? We don't want any cheap plays. We don't want to go up any horse collar tackles, any neutral zone infractions, any offside penalties. We don't want any encroachment penalties, no pre-snap penalties, nothing cheap. We're gonna force them to beat us. And beat us with Jimmy Garoppolo's arm by playing with outside leverage and being the deepest deep. Don't get beat deep. Don't give anything cheap. All right. So that's what I would teach my cornerbacks and specifically my cornerbacks, because it's very important for them to know, hey, it's okay if you're playing with outside leverage and you get beat deep from the numbers to the hash marks, because, hey, that's what our defensive shell is designed to do on this specific scenario. All right, so it's 2017, 4 seconds left in this ball game. Hey, all is not lost. What I would do is I don't want my return man returning this kick because I like the matchup that it gives me now if it's a wide open play, yes, and you want to spring it and try to get a home run threat. In fact, if I was a special teams coach, I would say, hey, look, let's try to get it. I know it sounds crazy, but if the refs don't call it, let's try to do a legal blindside block. Let's try to do something illegal, hopefully illegal within the confinements of the rules. Let's try to hit a illegal blindside block, and hopefully the refs don't catch it. And let's try to spring our returner down the field. Or you can play it safe and just touch back and then kind of run a gadget play like the annexation of Puerto Rico in the game of Little Giants. What's the annexation of Puerto Rico? Well, let me show you. Anybody watch Little Giants? Great movie. I watched it like 10 times yesterday. On Tubi TV. But YouTube TV is way better. Just saying. But Little Giants, great movie. If you guys haven't seen it, watch The Little Giants. Talk about Madden. You have Steve Edman was in that movie. Bruce Smith, Emmett Smith. I wish Jerry Rice was in that movie. I wonder if they asked Jerry Rice, hey, you want to be in this movie? We have some future Hall of Famers in there, like Bruce Smith, Emmett Smith. Steve Edman wasn't, but I think Steve Edman was drafted by the Indianapolis Colts, if I'm not mistaken. I always say that because, people always call me, oh, you're wrong. But I think he was drafted by the Indianapolis Colts. I think he was drafted number 1 overall or something like that. I don't know. I think he was drafted like top 5 pick for sure, I think. Steve Edman was, not mistaken. I think he played defensive line. All right. Here we go. This is the play, guys. And look, they're playing with outside leverage. You look at the Tennessee Titans. They're playing with outside leverage right now. Everyone's conceding everything. And you just got to watch for a lot of different things here. Wow. All right. So this game is over. And I just got to say, man, if you picked the under, you're a winner. Because I said to pick the under in today's game. So if you pick the under, you're a winner. You're a winner if you pick the under. Total score, 37 points. And again, I need some extra cash for Christmas. And I just need some cash. I hope you did too. For educational purposes. Betting's illegal. It is. It is. Only in the states that you can gamble in, should you ever gamble. Or you can drive to Vegas and go that route. All right. That'll be it. Actually, I don't know if I want to hop on. I was going to go to the gym, but then I was like, you know what? It's already 8:15. I think my gym closes at 10. I'm like, what? Am I going to work out for an hour and a half? I mean, that's my warm-up. Literally. Scrimmage, Rats. 49ers don't look past and go beat Texans. Happy holiday. Yes, happy holidays to you too. Hey, we can do a live reaction right now. All right, so a live reaction show is something that, well, let's just talk about my post-game analysis. Niners basically lost this game simply because they don't have good boundary cornerbacks. And this is an issue. The blueprint was set against the Cincinnati Bengals. The blueprint was set against the Seattle Seahawks. The blueprint has been set for many weeks now. 3-4 weeks now. And again, anytime you roll in Deal Lenore, it's been a problem all year. Deal Lenore, Ambry Thomas, same guy. Same guy. They're going to have to do something in free agency if they really want to solidify this team, because that's the team's Achilles heel. Mulla says, well, that's game, Ryan. Thanks for keeping the stream out. Thank you so much, Mela. I appreciate the love, and thank you everyone for rating me on this stream. That was my first raid ever. I think I want to do more of that. I was actually gonna not hop on that stream, but I did. Stayed on, and it's awesome. It's awesome. So go raid. I want to raid Tom Grassi. Tom Grassi's awesome. Nick Bauman said Tom Grassi. Funny, Nick Bauman. I thought this was Nick Bowerman. Nick Bowerman is one of my good friends who competed with me, who got his IFBB Pro card. He's also a Raiders fan. I thought it was Nick Bowerman, but it said Nick Bauman. All right. Ian Hurley says, you were rated by Tom Grassi. Go follow Tom Grassi. Good guy. Thank you so much for rating me. I appreciate the love and support. Tom Grassi, I rated you back. And it's good to raid people. It's just good to raid people. It's awesome. I had no idea you could raid on YouTube. Usually it was on Twitch. And that's why I was kind of skeptical. I was like, wait, I thought, no. And then YouTube was like, nah, man, you can raid on YouTube. I'm like, oh, that was my first I'd never been raided before. Anytime you hear someone being raided, it's like, oh man, is that good or bad? So I was like blocking people, and it's like, nah, man, it's good. Calm down, dude. Chill out, bro. And then people were sending me super chat and super stickers. So they're actually sending me money. I'm like, nah, man, I don't like money. No, I never said that. But I was like, oh, that's when I knew it was legit, because I was getting those super chat and super stickers. Like, no, I'm spitting here. We're actually helping you. I'm like, oh, okay, right on, dude. I feel it. And it got me a lot of subscribers, a lot of likes, a lot of engagement. That's what we want here on YouTube, where social media engagement is encouraged. And it was all good vibes only. But hey, let's check out what we have here. This is really, 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 I don't know what to tell you, man. This was horrible. I mean, AJ Brown, 11 receptions, 145 yards, touchdown on 16 targets. All right, so it's his first game back since week 11. This was a game of where, like, I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't even know how to. Jay Busick Bay 68 says, gotta bench Jimmy. Lunar Mystic says Jimmy lost us the game. It was a bad game all the way around. And to me, it comes down to not so much Jimmy Garoppolo losing this game as it is the boundary cornerbacks losing this game. The boundary cornerbacks are horrible. Horrible. And I'm not saying I can do it, because I can't, but I don't get paid millions of dollars to do it anyways. I get paid to project and predict. It's the player's job to perform. I always say that. Don't like it, play better. Here's the thing. I called it. I'm sticking to my guns. I'm not a flip-flop or fake. And we've seen it. So, yes, Jimmy Garoppolo is just as much to blame as it is the boundary cornerbacks. They're both to blame. This is a team sport. Jimmy Garoppolo played horrible. He played horrible. And yes, he should be. This is bad Jimmy. We had bad Jimmy today, and that's what you see with bad Jimmy. And again, for everyone who likes Jimmy Garoppolo, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get a roller coaster ride. You're going to get the highs and lows, and that's just any quarterback. But at the same time, it's almost like everything's amplified here in the Bay Area, because the standard is the standard in San Francisco. It's Super Bowl or bust. It's very hard to play here in the Bay Area. Very difficult. When you have quarterbacks like Steve Young and Joe Montana, even Jeff Garcia had his tough times. Jeff Garcia was booed on many occasions over at Candlestick. I was there firsthand. I was the ones booing Jeff Garcia at one point, right? there's a lot. Alex Smith, the list goes on. I mean, Jim Druckenmiller, he never got his rise, but I mean, the Virginia Tech first round pick, Drunkenmiller, right? It's just really, really bad and really, really hard. But at the end of the day, Jimmy Garoppolo has to step up, and he hasn't. In games like this, I wouldn't say he single-handedly lost this game, but as close to single-handedly losing this game. Because you cannot throw, what was it, 3 interceptions in today's game? And we look at the box score. I think he threw 3 picks today. Or 2 interceptions today. You can't do that. You can't throw 2 interceptions in a ball game and expect to win. The turnover differential and the margin for error in the NFL is very slim. And again, in the game of inches, where every inch counts, you can't make those mental errors. You have to understand coverages. You have to understand know where your help is. And these are things that need to get cleaned up. These are things that really need to get cleaned up. Otherwise, you're going to be in a tough spot. And I think that's what you see with the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, Ambry Thomas, Dio Lenore, I mean, you guys have to clean up your game. You have to know where your help is. You have to know how to play your splits. Josh Norman, you're no excuse. You're not getting the pass. How did you run? You're going to go against a skinny post against A.J. Brown, and you give him an inside free release, and then you don't make a play on the ball once the ball arrives, and you know you're playing against a bigger receiver. You either have to get in front of him, or if you're in a trail mode, at least make a play on the ball. Get a DPI, get something, but don't give him a free pass where he can box you out and get an easy touchdown once he catches it at the catch point because he's already in the end zone. These are just things. This is fundamentals, guys. And again, you don't get the pass with me when it comes to fundamentals. Same with Eric Armstead when he came out. Played with a high pad level. Coaches told me the same exact thing. His own coaches. Same coaches even see some things today, all right, that I still keep in touch with. So let's not get it twisted. These are fundamental things that need to get cleaned up. Now, Eric Armstead cleaned up those things over time, but it took, 5th year? It took his 5th year option for him to go ahead and clean that up? I don't know. Can we wait 5 years for Ambry Thomas or Dio Lenore to get it right? No, because it won't be long for 5 years if they play this way. Because they're not first-round picks. How many cornerbacks, I have the draft history, GM draft history, how many cornerbacks drafted in rounds 3 to 5 outlived their rookie deal? Since 2017, since John Lynch became GM. If anyone knows the answer to that, hit me back. I got the analytics on that, but I'm going to save that for another podcast and YouTube live stream so you guys can have something to look forward to and we can kind of break that down then. But it is what it is. It is what it is. There's a lot of mental errors and it's tough, man. It's tough. You can't win ball games like that. Keith Baldwin says, Jimmy stinks, corner stink, Warner is overrated. I don't think Warner's overrated, man. I still think he's a first-team All-Pro level in my grading system, but I graded every single snap, and if you want grades, if you want games where he didn't play so well, I can point out the grades. I have Fred Warner's back on this. The same people who love Fred Warner are now blaming it on Fred Warner, but look, there's a lot of fuga involved, which is fuck up the gray area. And if your teammates don't know how to play the fuga and kind of rotate coverage, kind of like defense, you have defense in basketball, right? You have your cover shells, right? If you're playing man-to-man and you're denying the pass, or if you're playing in a 2-3 or a 1-2-1, you got to rotate in a certain manner. Well, what if your guy gets beat? Do you neglect your coverage, or in this case, your man, if it's basketball, to help out in that zoned area? And then everyone has to kind of move one over, right? In a domino effect type of a way. These are types of things that we see. I don't think that Fred Warner's not playing at a first-team All-Pro level. He is. And if anyone wants to challenge me on that or debate with me, hey, I got grades. I cover all the top off-ball linebackers just like I do on every single position in the NFL. Darius Leonard, outside of Darius Leonard, Fred Warner's still the best in the game. Better than Bobby Wagner, better than Roquan Smith, better than Devin White. Challenge me. I got grades on all those players. I graded every single snap this year, as I did last year and the year before that. All right, Colin Smith says, I can't believe we choked to the Titans. Fudge. Thank you for not cursing. But even though I said F-U-C-K. Marina Pereira says, I think defense did cost us the game. Jimmy led us to 17 points. Why can't defense hold Titans to less than 17? I wish Jimmy had better players around him. Marina Pereira says he's not blaming Jimmy Garoppolo. He's blaming on the lesser talent. I like the talent the San Francisco 49ers have. I think anytime you have George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, who else do they have? Trent Williams. I mean, that Kyle Juszczyk. I mean, you're talking about the cream of the crop, best of the best at their respective positions. I mean, that's wide receiver, fullback, left tackle, tight end. That's 4 positions out of 11 that they're the best at, the best of the best, cream of the crop at their positions. All can be regarded first team All-Pro in my grading system. I think it comes down to execution. I think it comes down to understanding where your weaknesses lie and not rely on scheme, or scheme can only get you so far. But at the end of the day, the players have to execute. And if they don't have the strength to execute that specific scheme, then you're not going to be very, very good at your job, right? Aaron Banks, I say he was a power-based zone run blocker, not power-based zone blocker, power-based run blocker, right? In a power-based scheme, much like the Tennessee Titans, more like a Pittsburgh Steelers, kind of like a Baltimore Ravens type of guy, where they use the fullback like Pat Ricard. You don't see that in Aaron Banks' game come out of Notre Dame, but yet they love it. PFF ranks him as high in pass blocking, and how's that going for you? He's a healthy scratch. You should have just went after Asante Samuel Jr. and boom. We wouldn't have been talking about boundary cornerbacks because we would have had it covered with Asante Samuel Jr. Colin Smith says, yeah, Darius Leonard and Fred Warner are the best. They are. They are. And I don't know why people are saying Fred Warner's average or he's not playing up to his standard. Look, Fred Warner, and I should do a whole lot. I got grades. If you want to debate with me on the grading, fine. But at least do the due diligence and grade every single snap if you're going to criticize or praise a player. At least have the respect to do that. And I've done that. And if you want grades, and I cross-check an apples to apples with all the best off-ball linebackers, including Eric Kendrick on the Minnesota Vikings, who I didn't mention, I got grades. Lunar Mystic says, also, the interior offensive line got punished by the Titans D-line. Hey, they have Jeffrey Simmons. First team All-Pro in my grading system. Wasn't voted to the Pro Bowl. I tweeted it out. He should have been in instead of household name Chris Jones. And I like Chris Jones as an interior rusher, but he is a one-trick pony. He's not very good in run support. That's what I have to say about that. All right. So with that being said, that pretty much wraps up this live stream. I wasn't expecting to hop on the whole live stream, but hey, we did. Thank you so much for tuning in to this live stream. Thank you so much for everyone for the super chat and super stickers. Thank you so much for the raid by Grossi, Tom Grossi. Thank you so much, Green Bay Packers fan who has 250,000 followers. Thank you so much, Tom Grossi, for the raid. I really appreciate the raid party. I had no idea what a raid was. I was like, oh man, I'm being raided in a bad way, and it was a good thing. So thank you so much. I appreciate the love. If you liked what I had to say, please hit the subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner of your screen as you stay up to date on all things Beast in real time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good day. BEASTwriter out. Happy holidays.